little bit more of the blended competition. And normally you kind of see that as you jump into an elimination state on the lower side.
Yeah, and I really think it comes down to some of the drafts that these teams have prepared. When I've been casting for the EU and MENA region, I always liked how they prepared their drafts, right? You see a lot of different elements that come out. And I know especially in the last season, the Khalid was kind of picked in that roam position quite a bit. But this time around, there's been a heavy emphasis on the Badang pick. I know you and me, we casted last week, very last match. Badang was pretty much prio or pick or ban for either one of these teams. I'm expecting kind of the same enthusiasm on this Badang pick, but I also feel like there's a lot of other picks that can, you know, be prioritized early on in the draft.
You know, you're asking all these questions. I have to turn into the Slender Man to like extend a little bit higher up so I can see.
Hello, Nier. Yeah, BJK is circuit team. Yeah.
Bands on the bot side though. The Eve taken off the board. This is a little interesting to do this.
Do you hear me well, guys?
When, I wouldn't say it's been as heavily prioed in today's meta, right? I mean,
I hope my sound is okay.
Not too much of a surprise, but the Eve has definitely got me scratching my head. It almost makes me think it's a little bit of a target ban onto the side of Besiktas Esports, potentially for Ayaya.
Yeah,
okay, because my friend is sleeping in the couch in the back, and I can't talk really loud.
First ban just kind of sets up that Zushin
hello,
fight,
Caroline.
which,
hello.
You know, for the side of Besiktas, they've denied it correctly, right? So now both mages are off the board. Elevate goes with the Hilda ban, and this is interesting because Hilda hasn't had the best performance in a lot of the series for Snapdragon Pro Series. However, Hilda is still extremely impactful. Picked quite high, 50-60% pick or ban rates. This is still a hero that we have to watch out for. It's just that it's just not winning that many games.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes me feel like Elevate's going to be running
Dazai, Valier is
like
1 to 10 on mid lane.
Play style could be a game plan. We also got to pay credit to the Joy, right? One of the more dominant junglers in today's meta, still available, walking
4
on the
out
table.
of 10. Valier is 4 out of 10.
In the first half of the draft, especially
he's just kind of useless in this meta.
You can't keep in mind though the
he's hello, dropped up. Why the fuck are you so dumb? What the fuck is this question? Why I'm dumb? In what country they compete? I also don't understand this question. BGK is Turkey, Elevate is Europe team.
Yeah, you talked about the Granger. They come.
You mean servers or play or what?
It just sets Elevate up for.
I don't know what server.
Prio first pick on the mark.
Need to ask players directly.
It's how Elevate is really trying to decide in this draft what heroes that they're looking to pick. Right? They ban out the Eve looking for a Zushin Prio. If Zushin is not available, they're looking for the Granger, and this is kind of where Besiktas have the ability to, you know, decide. They take out the Granger.
I like these casters, to be honest.
A Suyu first pick, right? This hero has had a really high win rate and performance in all
Fish,
of the
hello.
across the board.
Hello, Fish.
It's still good, even though Joy is that direct counter. Soyu is still extremely strong. Fast rotations in the jungle has the impact early on, but no, they actually skip over. It goes for Matilda first pick.
Yeah, they go for the Matilda.
Katie, hello.
I mean, I don't think it's the worst decision.
Yeah, I woke you up for this third time.
In the roam position though, so they are showing the cards a little early, but nonetheless they have.
Where are your pro team? My pro team? I don't have a team. Not planning to have a team right now.
Blue side after the 2-pick swing, but for Besiktas Esports, they now have jungle prow, right? They can go for this Joy, they can go for this Hayabusa. It's really up to them. They can pick their marksman as well, right? I mean, the Granger and the Harith are off the table, but there's still some additional picks that can be slotted in there, but they go for the wombo combo. Not only do they take Joy,
BGK, they always play Joy mid lane.
Yeah, this is something we have seen before one time. Yes, it was.
Your Elevate will lose
against Team Falcon. They
really?
picked the Joy up in the mid lane. So this is something that we've actually seen before. Ayaya does a great job with the Joy, especially early on, to pop a lot of the utilities to make sure that they, you know, don't have the opportunity to have a flicker.
So they were not playing all this time?
Turtle pit on the very first objective. So this is not extremely of a surprise. It's just extremely.
I just want to check bracket. Wait. Come on.
Right?
Oh, nice. So. Oh, so it's now, right now it's lower bracket, elevate BGK, and then, because I don't know, they started stream 30 minutes ago. What the heck? Where is Group A though? Group A didn't play yet? No? Interesting, okay.
Have the guiding winds, you're able to go back to safety, so now you have a little bit more of insurance.
They started from Group B.
Damage necessary on the enemy team. Then they paired up with the Valentina. Now,
how is BGK compared to other Turkey teams? They're like
Valentina,
top 3.
Especially with the results that did come in last week, I feel like Valentina is still one of the best majors.
You streaming again later? I will play on this stream. I'll not start another stream.
Almost anyone, especially in this case with the Valentina.
I'll end watching this stream. This tournament, and I'll play rank.
Has 2 built in. He's gonna feel much safer, especially compared to something like an Aurora, a Vexana.
You were looking for editor, right? So why didn't take a web's link in tele?
Blind pick, it does set up for something like a CC if Besiktas wants a winning matchup, or even the high-lows.
What are you talking about, Fish?
In the XP. I know for a fact
if you have any idea how to find editor for videos, I am all ears.
Seems like they're welcoming
Tell me.
Hayabusa, which I actually feel like is going to be a mistake. I think the Fredrin is something that's just a little bit worse, but
okay, good night, Kater.
The Hayabusa and the Matilda matchup, so that's like double assassins. It's just a little bit weaker in the early.
Just chill, guys. Chill, watch.
For the side of Besiktas.
That's all we need to do.
Hayabusa or the Ling, if they do want to go back to their debut matchup, it was the Ling that came out. Oh no, actually no, that was for Besiktas, not Elevate. So I mean, yeah, I think the Hayabusa would be the wisest decision here. It is a little bit interesting that they prioed that Fredrin or the Alpha instead of taking out the Hayabusa, especially with the Hilda not being on the table. And there's not really a lot of heroes that's going to harass this Hayabusa in the jungle if they do go in for that route. So definitely could be a wise decision. The Hylos getting taken off the board as well.
You can see my friend behind.
Capabilities for Besiktas Esports. We still got to look at what's on the table though, right? You have the Katat, another great hero that can get to the back line and get those initial setups. You have the Cho, who wasn't banned out here as well. Still could be picked up for either side.
Cho, Katat, I think are both solid options, especially if they want to look to flex into the XP. But in a Matilda matchup at mid, there's a few great options.
Sorry, Zex, I can answer you in Telegram if you want, but I will not talk Ukrainian on stream.
Today, I was kind of looking at a lot of the data surrounding Khalid, and Khalid has a
you can ask me in Telegram or Discord, I will answer there.
One of the best matchups, especially level 1, and they don't go for the Khalid. However, this is still a flex pick. Right, we don't know if the Katat is going in the XP or in the roam position, but with the win rate like 86%, that's going to be quite huge for the side of Besiktas.
And it looks like everybody on Elevate is getting a ticket to the Matilda Airlines before it takes off today. So they're going to go ahead and pick up this carry. It's a similar situation to the Phobius. The mobility is really one of the only things that carry lacks, but just shows how impactful this Matilda on the first pick is for Elevate. And so far, I'm liking the way this draft is shifting. You're looking at this Valentina. I kind of asked the question earlier, was it premature to pick that up on the first half of the draft? But now, I mean, technically you have the Avatar of the Guardian, so you're going to be able to drop down and get some initial setups. And there goes the Hayabusa that you called out, Yue, a wizard in the making, man. You're a wizard, Yue. Don't let nobody okay?
You know, the Hayabusa pick, it's quite expected. I think the viewers out there definitely all, thought that the Hayabusa was going to be picked from the Elevate side. They did pick it up game 1 against Incendio Supremacy. Didn't get the victory that they were looking for, but it was still a 14-minute game, so you could definitely tell that the side of Elevate has the mastery on this Hayabusa now.
I asked you in telechat if you need an editor. I have web that you... Oh yeah. Because they don't have experience in editing Mobile Legends content. That's why I don't need it. I can find editors in like Google, just Google editor for videos, but I need exactly editor for Mobile Legends. John, hello.
The Guardian to be able to kind of just jump from side to side now.
Okay.
Ruby
okay, he's
up here. that's going to be an XP Ruby, something we really haven't seen a lot in this tournament. I don't exactly know how that matchup is going to go between the Ruby and the Phoveus, but I know for a fact the Ruby is going to have so much more sustain early on.
It's putting a lot into the baskets of the Irithyll, though, because that's the only range they have on their team now. A lot of front line to be able to rush in and take these fights. A lot of crowd control with the AOG from the Gatot.
Are you Ukrainian? Yes, I'm Ukrainian.
The Ruby can be effective, plus they have sustainability with the Ruby.
No, let me check draft because I missed draft.
Side, right? You have the Mathilda, you pair that up with the carry, you pair that up with the Phoveus. The damage is there, the path to get out.
I'll tell my honest thoughts on draft.
And then you top that off the Hayabusa, who can get to the back line, and there's not really anybody to, I guess the Ruby could possibly try and go in for the invasion plays, but that'll be up for both sides to tell that story. Ladies and gentlemen,
okay, so what do we have here?
Into our first series of the day for Group B's elimination match in the Snapdragon Pro
Ruby
Series
roll.
Challenge season. Elevate up against Besiktas Esports.
A best-of-5 game coming out from both of these teams here. We kind of mentioned in the draft how things were kind of gonna go, right? The Ruby, again, it's quite good. We haven't seen it that often in the XP.
No, Ruby can work. Ruby can work.
Hero perform well, and I think one of the reasons is they're trying to stop Fafnir, right? This Hayabusa
Ruby can really work here.
Very fast clear speed.
I'm from Lviv,
both
not Odessa.
of the buffs way faster than the Suyo here, and I think the Ruby is just there to kind of deal with the mobility that the Hayabusa has, right? Not only do they have to defend against the Matilda's airline, they have to defend against this Hayabusa, and I think Ruby's just trying to stop some of the members of Elevate in their place so the Avatar Guardian can hit and the Joy can get his dashes onto them.
Who edited the mate fanboy short to you? No,
there's a lot of means to escape and
it was just my subscriber, Byakuya.
With the flickers, I mean, there's 3 flickers on the
But
side
she's
of
not
Elevate as well.
MLBB editor, she's just editor. She likes some music edits, you know.
Has yet to find a victory in this, not Elevate, Besiktas Esports has yet to find a victory in this challenge season, so we're definitely going to be keeping a close eye on them to see if they can put that first one on the board for their side.
Yeah, and you know, Besiktas definitely is the one that's coming out with some element of surprise, right? Yeah, this Joy in the mid lane is not something we've seen quite commonly, and it's for a good reason, right? You can see already that the clear speed is not going to be there. The prio in that lane is not really having that much success, and I feel like Elevate definitely came back and started watching some of the games that Besiktas has. They're taking this turtle uncontested, and I think the comp is just right.
And now going to go ahead for the invasion play. They want to get a little bit more onto that purple buff, and it looks like Lido was able to secure it away from Tai, which means 2 objectives into the favor for Elevate.
Yeah, that is a turtle uncontested along with the blue buff. So some mistakes coming out from the side of Besiktas, right? If you don't get the objective, make sure to hit that retribution on it. And I think, you know, Lido on this Phoveus, it's something that's really hard to deal with. A blind pick Phoveus, it's an extremely strong level 4 hero, has unlimited jumps, basically unlimited ults that has a shield at the same time. So I feel like the side of Besiktas, they're just in a bit of a trouble, but they can still come back from, you know, just a 500 deficit.
And I'm interested to see how this damage is going to pick up for Fafnir.
At least they're not feeding.
Because a lot of these heroes are sustainable. A lot of these heroes are more frontline oriented. Since they don't go for the traditional mage, they go in for this Joy as well. So I want to see if he's going to be able to hit those Luigi shadow kills. He uses the guiding wind to circle to the top side. You're looking at Chapo and Exception, maybe in a little bit of trouble, but they smell the danger, right? They know that the numbers are not in their favor, and they're going to play the safer route on the top side.
Yeah, and it's interesting from the side of Besiktas that they're deciding to have this 4-front strategy. Joy, Soyu, Ruby, and Gatot. It's a lot to deal with, and it really does set up that they have to make sure this stays up and alive.
And speaking of up and alive, a little bit of a knock-up on Chapo. Luigi shadow kill for the final touches. Fafnir drawing first blood for Elevate is going to take down Chapo.
Yeah, the focus coming out from Fafnir on this Hayabusa is unmatched, right? The Riddle did have that flicker to be able to jump away, but the Hayabusa was still able to get his Shadow Clone Jutsu onto them. That's going to be showing up so much success here.
And I mean, let's just keep in mind where the money is, right? They took the turtle, they took the purple buff, and now they take the ADC from Besiktas Esports. When does the bleeding stop? They need to find some trades, or they're going to eventually find themselves in a hole they can't climb out of.
Yeah, and I mean, the smart thing for the side of Besiktas, right? They know that they're losing some of these early game team fights, so they're willing to give up some of these bigger objectives to get some sort of pressure on the opposite side. They have a mid-clear prio, which means their mage and their roam is going to be rotating onto the top side much faster. This is exactly what they need. However, the defense coming out from Elevate, they're getting into positions where it's hard for BJK to really get a push onto the tower, and I think that is going to just prolong the game enough where potentially the carry is going to have a great time against the Rithel even mid to that late game.
Speaking of Chapo and Irit, though, he just picked up the Hawes Claws too, so he now has a little bit of sustainability.
Wow.
Oh, speaking of sustainability, not the same store for Exception.
That's a really good team play from Elevate.
Another kill for Elevate. This time, Tiso picking it up on the carry.
Five players.
And no response coming out from Besiktas once again, right? The first time it was the objective on the turtle. Now, even this, Fafner's having a great time with the mobility. They were trying to draft the Ruby to be able to stop the Hayabusa, but Fafner, he just seems like he's happy dancing away, getting some of these objectives with no contestation at all.
Yeah, and I mean, it's 3-0 now, 1,700 gold lead, and Elevate just off to a really good start with the two turtles on their side as well, and a kill, 2 kills over the Tiso, which, like you mentioned, this carry, the later the game goes, it's going to start hitting like a truck as you get those core items in. You pick up that DHS, and he's really going to start shredding the frontline composition from Besiktas Esports.
Yeah, and at this point, Besiktas is caught in a pretty bad position. You can see the Joy ult not really getting too much damage dealt. It kind of feels like Elevate just has control of the whole entire game, right? The Rithel is not doing that much damage. Look at Lido already punishing Exception.
Yeah, Exception will fall. Tiso will pick up the 3rd kill for the ADC of Elevate, the 4th kill for the team on the board, and now shifting their focus into the mid lane.
Yeah, 3-0 on the carry. That is not good news for the side of Besiktas. They want to be able to kind of have this early and mid game, right? A Rithel versus carry. Yes, they're both late game marksmen, but mid lane here, even then, they get the grab, but it's not going to be doing too much. Lido's going to walk out there, you know, carefree.
Yeah, and now you're going to see another turtle to the side of Elevate. Just a really rough start for Besiktas Esports so far. A turret on the top side will fall at the same time, and now Exception caught out of position again, and Tiso will be the one to do the final touches,
for what?
The 4th kill for the ADC.
Dazai, how much in one donation for one play game with Valier Skypiercer?
Top and bot tower gone.
Valier?
No objectives on the side of Besiktas.
Let me check if I can play Valier.
A little bit out of control. Now, if we look at the gold lead, it's not that bad. But before that,
I don't know if I have 2 games with Valier.
Low, but they take out the Joy right away.
6-0.
Gets another
Crazy.
kill uncontested.
Another kill uncontested, the invasion onto the purple buff, and now the push toward the turret in the mid lane. Elevate always at the right place at the right moments ahead of Besiktas Esports, able to take the turret, now going to invade even further into their map, and Besiktas doing everything they can for a denial, but unable to find it. Tiso taking down Chapo in the process, and the purple buff will go to Elevate.
Yeah, I have 9 games with Valier.
It's like the sustain that Elevate has.
It's fine.
Little bits too
I don't know.
much to deal with, right? The Matilda, especially on the
Like
winning side.
$5 donation will be enough.
By first picking this Matilda, they've set
Just for you, it's
a lot of success.
It's
fine. The mobility that the carry lacks, and especially going up against the Joy, the Matilda is just too much to deal with. You can take a look at this. They get some damage down though.
Yeah, a lot of heavy hits, but Boro able to find a Yaya last second. Almost got off the electrifying beats on the Tiso, but not in time. It is now a 8-0 lead for Elevate.
Yeah, bad news, Besiktas, right? It seems like the draft didn't really work out. It's a little bit too greedy to get both the Soyu and the Joy, but I think it really comes down to Elevate's first pick. If you first pick a Matilda and he goes 1-0-5, it definitely means that Besiktas doesn't have the response to deal with the Matilda. Yes, the Gato Kacha, it has a pretty good win rate. However, it's not like a direct counter into that matchup. I feel like something like the Khalid could have been possible, but it's a little bit too late. The side of Elevate decides to get the Lord, and there's nothing that the side of Besiktas can do about it.
I know, BGK just sucking dicks.
At the top of the mountain with almost 8,000 gold, and then I was like, okay, well, where's Chapo at? How is he faring off against him? Chapo was at 4K! He is behind in the economy. There it is right there. 8,000 to 4,800 at the 9-minute mark. That's almost
Crazy.
double the economy for Elevate.
Yeah, I mean, that's 5 kills to 3 deaths, right? There's not much a comparison there. Elevate now with pretty much the whole map ahead of themselves. Any fight that the side of Besiktas tries to take is not going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem as you see a lot of damage on the exception. Boro going to go ahead and take him down. Chapo getting a response back. First kill on the board. Takes down Lido for Besiktas Esports. But Tiso quick to clean up the pieces. Finds a Yaya. 2 members down for Besiktas. And now a push on the turret for the top side.
Yeah, they don't get the top tower, but the Lord is still marching down. They get the explosion in the inner mid side, so I think the side of Elevate's going to look to siege here.
Nice one, nice ult from Gata.
Missed opportunity from Tiso on the AOG. Still going to go in though with the Quad Shadow. Bor with the immunity, tries to get out with the guiding wind. Quad Shadow from Fafner goes back in, goes back out. Not going to find the kill, but definitely got to give him some admiration on the possible play right there. 10-1 right now. The Lord has been bursted down. And Besiktas Esports only holding on to their inhibitor in the top lane.
Yeah, it's 10 minutes in, 2 inhibs down. Side Elevate's pretty much projected to take this game probably within the next objective, and I think Elevate is going to be quite happy with this, right? Besiktas, yes, they have some sort of late game with the Erythal. Usually it's going to be doing quite well against majority of the marksmen, but it seems like carry is just a little bit too much to deal with. Added onto that, the sustain and the mobility that Hayabusa, Valentina, and even Matilda has is just too much here.
No, Irrital is good marksman.
Trying to fend off the purple buff play from the side of
Irrital is fine here.
Now it's over at 10K lead.
BGK were destroyed on objectives, not because of gold lane. Like if your gold lane cannot deal damage or is losing gold lane, then it's gold lane problem. But here they just lost all objectives and bad Elevate. So I don't know. Not Irrital issue. They just did some mistakes, I guess.
They get the objective. 20 seconds until the Lord comes down. Besiktas, they're looking for a pick, right? They're looking for some sort of mistake that Elevate might just give off. But at the same time, you can see there's so much mobility, so much map pressure. Elevate is just not scared to look for fights, to look for picks. And Besiktas, they're really backed into a corner, right? They have the Ruby to be able to potentially find a pick, and if they're able to, then yes, that would be the best case scenario. But Elevate's not looking to really give them anything. They have the top side far lane being pushed slowly. They're grouping up for this Lord, and they're even getting a lot of poke down onto their frontline member.
Yeah, now gonna go ahead and focus on this objective. The Lord spawned in, and you already see some great wave cryo from the side of Elevate to force Besiktas Esports to split off and clear the minions, which will allow them to take this Lord with ease.
Yeah, and it really shows a little bit difference in terms of class, right? It seems like Elevate's, especially if a game that's looking to be closed out at that 12-14 minute mark on the second Lord, it really does tell me that the draft might be the biggest issue. There's no response coming out from Besiktas to be able to deal with any of the early aggression that Elevate has put out. There's no objectives being taken. There's no sieges that are happening on the opposite side of map. There's no kill pressure. Nothing is working out from the side of Besiktas. And now with the defense of a 13-minute, we're talking about like 11-12K lead. It went bad really, really fast for this team, and it's going to be a very hard defense here.
Yeah, definitely going to be a hard mantle to climb over for the side of Besiktas Esports, as you are seeing Illuminous Lord marching through the mid lane and the full 5-man team of Elevate ready to push on forward into the base.
They'll end right now.
Away from possibly closing out this game, and they're going to go for the siege. The Lord at
Valentina just pushing base.
Because they lose the inhibitor on the top side. Quad Shadow comes out. Fafner taking that exception in a moment's notice. The Yaya may be next, but the base crystal will fall first. Then Elevate will take game number 1 against Besiktas Esports.
It was too easy.
A strong opening from the side of Elevate here, taking game 1 in a 14-minute fashion. Again,
come on, Nasanali. They are fucking them 14-1. Aya doesn't care what to buy.
The first pick on a winning
yeah, J-Mid is bullshit.
hard to deal with, especially if you don't have a response. And Matilda is a hero that we've
BGK
seen
just
over
trolling.
and over and over. Almost every team has the ability to pick this hero up, but to not have a response for it is something that I'm a little
Dazai,
bit
what do you
caught
think
off guard.
about Layla?
Besiktas here, unfortunately, only had 1 kill on the Rithel.
Great
Trying
late
to
marksman.
respond by some of the
If
early,
only we can
strengths
skip
of Elevate
early
to get
game.
all the objectives for Besiktas to get
Like,
a
you need
seat
to
on
be
the opposite
skillful
lane, but
to
they
win
just
1v1 with
not
Layla,
having
not to lose it
success
actually.
trying to find that.
Have good positioning and wait like really late game, and then you are useful, and you should have front line. So too much conditions for Layla to work.
That's very hard to deal with, especially when you already banned out a lot of heroes that
Karina, hello.
you know you didn't really expect Matilda to walk in. It was just true textbook fashion. I mean, you see the phobias come out right after, you see the carry come out as well, and these are heroes that you normally never really have to worry
Elevate
about
players
banning.
have my
So I
hair.
think it was a wise decision from Elevate, and it may be something that we see follow through for the
Weak.
rest of the challenge season.
Uklon, hello.
With this Matilda coming out in the
Uklon.
first part of the draft. But for the side of Besiktas Esports, I'm right there on that same train with you, right? Ayaya,
I mean,
picking up this
14-1.
Joy, and then they pair it with the Suyo, and not only did they do that, but they chose to do that on the 2-pick swing. You could have waited to pick the Blue Yo. You could have picked that second half in the draft and made Elevate believe that that was going to be your jungler, but they showed those cards so early, which increased the opportunity for Elevate to rise even higher on the draft with these pocket picks with little to no problem.
They will
That's
ban
exactly
Matilda
the
probably
story
next game.
that we seen in game number 1. Little to no problem, and it definitely began in the draft.
Yeah, and you know, just to point out on that Matilda pick even more, the only win that Elevate was able to get on Incendio Supremacy is on the Matilda. And to put it even in a different perspective, Matilda was banned out game 1.
I don't know why
game 3, and
Phobius
game
jumped
4.
here
And
on
game 2 was the one that
Gato.
Elevate won with it. So this is a hero that you could really call that is bread and butter, and Boro really showed that. He was able to save his teammate out from pretty much almost every single situation. The sustain and the mobility was too much. It seemed like the early game they were able to deal with all the rotation that the side of Besiktas was looking to put out. This is a very important pick that now the side of Besiktas allowed Elevate to pick, and it led to a carry that dominated throughout the whole entire game. 79%
have my hair.
participation, 7-0-4, an MVP
Ignite,
completely
hello.
well deserved, set up from the beginning. He was like 1-0, 2-0, 3, 4-0. He played a perfect game here, Weezy.
The scary carry. You get to see it time and time again in the land of Dawn, and hey, I'm a fan all about it. So definitely credit to Tiso and Elevate for taking game number 1 in such a fancy fashion. Now, when we're looking at the side of Besiktas Esports, it's a lot of things that we got to talk about, right? A lot of things that went wrong for them in game number 1 that hopefully they can find an answer to for their second match to tie up this series. Because myself, I always say I love to see things go the distance, and it's going to start with the drafts, man. A couple of head scratches.
I want
right?
to
mean,
make
you
a
see
tea, but I don't
Hilda
want to
banned out,
stand up.
and they still allow them to take up
I'm
the
just too
Hayabusa,
lazy.
which was they could have took that themselves, or at least went for something that would have invaded a little bit better to stop this Hayabusa from popping off so well. And then not only that,
And
but,
I want to sleep.
they let them get.
I slept 3 hours today.
Allow them to not only have to worry about that. They know
Now
you're
I'll
not going to
have
be running a
health issues
traditional mid
later.
laner now, and they know that you're going to be forced to use this Blue Yo in the
But-
jungle. And now there's even more picks on the board for them to be able to ban them out. So I definitely think it starts with the draft. That's number one. Step number 2 is when they get into the game, they have to be effective on the heroes that they pick up as well.
It's gonna be really good if they win 3-0.
With that draft that they did. In
I
game
don't
number
mind
1. But
Elevate.
I didn't see it.
I
As soon
will,
as we jumped in the land of
cheer
Dawn, it just
for you
felt like they were
guys.
dancing in the palms of Elevate's hands.
Yeah, it didn't really look too
And you're
good.
from Europe, so I don't mind.
I think one thing that they can start with a lot of the teams especially, is being able to at least have an opportunity 50-50 objectives. And I think that's quite important. To be able to 50-50 objectives means you should have a decent matchup at mid. It could be a winning matchup, something aggressive early on. And when we're talking about early heroes, Khalid performs extraordinary in the lane. Hylos also does a great job as a roamer. So these are 2 solid picks that can go early head to head against almost any
CEO
pick,
ban.
right? right? The Valentina was a good response for that Joy, especially with the dashes that he can counter with.
Thunder
So
King, hello.
I definitely feel like this is something that Besiktas probably don't want to go with once again. But again, early pickups, if they're able to 50-50 the first objective, the second and the third one, it's gonna give them a lot.
I love how BGK Sports all look like esport players. And Elevate Europe team look like homeless people
Make sure to go for some early game
from some
pickups.
memes.
But Elevate here, I do know that they have good response even without the Matilda.
Okay, Boro
Previous games
looking
that they
like pro
decided to play
player.
were some things like the Tro and the Jawhead, and these are two pick heroes to go against a team like Incendio. That's gonna be tough to defend with, especially if Besiktas does go for something like a frontline set like the Hylos and like a Tigreal.
Oh wait.
I feel like Elevate might still have the response here.
Yeah, and this time around, Besiktas will be on the blue side, so definitely can shake up this entire draft and maybe a breath of fresh air for them. For Elevate, though, when they were on the blue side, they banned out the Eve, and I was wondering, I was like, that's not really a hero that you traditionally see taken off the board. And I think it was really just to keep more options available for when the swing came back on their side. But it's not the same story for Besiktas Esports, right? They're swinging in heavy with some of the more prio bands. The Blue Yo definitely taken off the board, and then also aside it is the Bedang. The Bedang, I'm just not sold on it, man. I'm sorry. I'm still not sold on it, but maybe my thoughts will change as we progress through the challenge season, but we'll have to see. The Fanny taken off the board as well.
Auto control,
You know who
hello.
hasn't been taken off the board? And it could have been picked up. Actually, no. I was going to say the Bruno, but the Bruno, even though we see it still hit like a truck, it's the range that a lot of people
Stop
don't
the
really gamble
racism.
with, but it's still been very effective. I want to say
Don't
it's
be
won a lot of
racist,
games
guys.
that we've seen when it has been slotted.
No, I mean, definitely picks that have been taken out a lot overseas, but not being shown in this matchup is that Luyo. The Lu Yi.
That's
Lu
just
Yi is
perfect
definitely
ban
gonna be a
for
pick that,
rank.
A lot of
Badang,
people
Suyo,
should be
Penny,
looking
and
for, but
Zuxi.
they aren't exactly. It's like a
You
double
good, Julian? Yeah, I'm
not
good.
exactly super strong, but if they're able
Why?
to use it in a correct manner, it's gonna be a pretty good setup. Now, interesting here is that in this region, blue side actually has won 62% of the games, over the 37% on the red team. So, you know, last match blue team did win with the first pick prio. Maybe this is the setup that
Asabi, hello.
Besiktas needs here in order for them to get past the ban stage.
You know, that's actually a really interesting stat, but okay, I got to ask you the question though. Do you really
Just
think
hello.
last game was
Just a
because,
question.
The blue
they
side.
were on the blue side? But because they
Matilda,
red
man.
side,
Okay.
they did a two-pick swing. They picked the Suyo, and they picked the Joy. They just showed too much. I feel like they still could have had a good hand of cards. They just exposed them too early. So hopefully we'll see a different
They're gonna pick
side of a
Hayabusa.
story when they are on the blue
Hayabusa,
side
let's
for
go.
Besiktas Esports. But yeah, I mean, you do notice some of these patterns, and I definitely do think there is a science behind
I
them.
swear
So
it's gonna be
now as we are
Hayabusa.
looking at the draft, first phase for bans
Come
has
on,
been finalized.
don't
There goes
disappoint
that
me.
Hilda again. Do they take
Oh,
the
and I
bait?
told they're gonna
Is
ban
this an
Matilda.
opportunity for Besiktas Esports to pick up their assassin or jungle prior right up
Boro
that
Boro
right
just knows
for the
how
first
to use
pick?
Matilda. Really good.
I think Besiktas has the ability to pick their marksmen. Granger, Harith, Rithel, Moskov, all are open. I think Granger is going to be the solid pick. Now, there's a lot
Iziza,
of teams
hello.
that already understand how to counter that match.
Jackie Chan and
the
Chris
Granger
Tucker.
is still going to be a solid poke hero that can combination with a lot of different heroes. Besiktas picks that
Jackie
up.
Chan
I'm
and
quite
Chris
happy with
Tucker.
that.
Easy.
Now, this is where Elevate gets quite interesting.
Yeah, perfect
They
bans.
have the
Yeah.
ability to take the Rithel early on. They get first pick Prio the jungler, which you have suggested, and they
Malo?
do go for it.
Who is Malo?
I don't know about the Hayabusa. I think there's a lot of
I don't
great
know.
picks
I don't
open,
know
but
Malo.
They have had a lot of success with that hero so far.
I mean, as long as they don't.
What is
pick
her
the
name
Joy right
in
after and
Discord?
Follow through, then I think we're okay. But yes, I do like the option of picking up the Granger first in the draft. It's the safer route. You already know it wins the gold lane matchup, so that's solidified. I feel like the Hayabusa, while it may have a little bit of
Marlo.
challenges, taking off that Hilda has been one of the heavier opponents that's been given.
Bro, what do you think about the new Hanzo revamp?
I was wondering, I'm like, okay, they
I think this revamp really fits into this meta, so he will be meta.
And they pick it up. There goes the joy. We know where that's
He was a unique assassin, but I don't really care about it. So if he's gonna be meta, I will have a new hero to play. So I like it.
You know,
It's gonna be OP.
Just shows how Elevate is prioritizing their draft. They pick or ban this hero. Lots of respect for it, and for a good reason, right? The RWM extremely hard.
They
to
gave
deal.
Hayabusa.
You talked
Okay.
about this Joy.
Again, Joy.
This is what I wanted to see. Joy flexed.
Gain fucking
Right?
Joy.
We don't really see Joy being flexed anywhere, but Besiktas definitely likes to flex the Joy, and I think that's great.
BGK played fucking Joy every game before, I remember
and
this.
Joy is actually quite good against a stationary mage like Eve, so potentially this could be a trick play. I think this has a lot more potential.
Bro, how did you learn English?
Now, Phobius blind pick.
But no,
It does allow
at school, at university, with tutor a little bit, preparing for exams, watching English content, talking to people, to other people in game.
Should potentially limit some of the matchups in that XP for this Phobius to thrive a little bit more.
Just use that language. If you use a language, you will learn it anyway.
Gold lane, they're gonna go ahead and slot in this Harith to go up against this Granger. Now, I'm a fan
It's
of the
not that
Harith,
hard.
and the reason why is because the Phobius is on
Just
the table
be
and there's no
disciplined
Matilda
with
for him to get
learning.
out to
That's all you
safety.
need.
So, hey, you can take that fight if you want to. If you rush in, you're gonna drop straight onto his Almond Force, and there's gonna be a lot of damage. As Harith is really good at taking up down those up close and personal fighters. So we'll see how that plays out. It's a little interesting on the Phobius. I feel like while Phobius' damage is great, it's a big
Your
gamble
English
here,
is good,
considering
nice.
You don't
Yeah,
have
it's like average.
a get out of jail free card with the Matilda not being on the table
Average
for
English
Now,
for
you
non-English
mentioned the Joy.
speakers. So.
You said the Joy was a great hero because it could be flex technically.
I can stream using my English.
Like we saw in game number 1, and it's a good counter to the Eve.
I
And I'm
cannot
right there
do
with you.
some
I actually agree with
complicated
that as
things
well.
like, I don't know,
But I hope they
creating
stick to
some
that same story. I hope
documentation
that
or
they just
I don't know.
Joy in the jungle, even though it's a
But
flex
yeah.
option. Let's just keep it
Enough
in the jungle
enough to talk with
and
people.
play little traditionals. I don't feel like they can take that gamble again. I mean, we're already in game number 2.
I think
they need to
that
put a point on the board.
his skill 1
traditional is good, right?
now
If
2
it's
OP
traditionally
against
fine
Squishy,
range,
and
it's
his
range
weakness
with
main
something
body
like a
has been
fire sub,
removed, so
but
he's
there
gonna
is
be a
something
bit
like
of
Hayabusa,
problem.
which does well against majority of the mid lane.
It's still hard to
So
use him.
Maybe something anti-dive
And it's still
like
easy to
Aurora
kill his
could be
body.
interesting, or you deal with mobility.
So he gonna have his
like in game 1
downsides,
with the Valentina.
but he's gonna be in meta, I guess.
It's
He's gonna be in
interesting for
meta.
me because this Joy putting it at mid has the potential.
That's Turkey versus
to
Europe.
just rush the Eve again. I would like this
Lasher,
matchup a lot
hello.
more. Yes.
Seasonal
I would love for the
anime,
Joy to be in a
motherfucker.
jungle position,
Why do I
but
remember
if
this
Aya
name, man?
doesn't have a better solution, this might
Jacket, hello.
potentially work
Stop
out here.
joking about
Elevate has a
Black
strong
and
opening with the
Asian
Harith and the
casters.
Hayabusa.
Stop joking
Two
about
picks
it.
that are often picked
I'm good,
up and
Lasher, I'm
banned
great.
out, and Elevate has done well with the Hayabusa.
Finally,
With the
Granger
bans
will
out
get
on the
nerfed.
table, they take out the Valentina, they take out the Louis, 2 strongest mages. So yes, the side of Elevate has prepared to deal with
Some guy
of the
in
mage
chat
picks
just
inside
sold
of
me
Besiktas, but this
Jackie
does give
Chan
more
and Chris
opportunity
Tucker.
for that Joy to be flexed in that mid. Where
Now you are
Besiktas
telling
has
combo. Combo.
to be picking up a jungler instead
What's
of
next?
a mage pool that has already some
Netflix.
heroes being chipped out.
Hylos up for grabs, was not banned out this time around, and could be a wise decision for Elevate to take for Besiktas Esports, especially wanting the mobility. I mean, you want to limit as many heroes that can provide that mobility to that
Yeah, it's
Phobius
rush hour.
as possible, but instead, they're going to go a different route entirely. They're going to go ahead and pick up this Lucas.
No, I
Lucas,
like
who's been
Lucas.
stepping into the scene time and time again. And me personally, I feel like a lot of teams are not really sure where to put him yet, right? They just don't know how effective he can be. So hopefully this time around, we see Lucas be a little bit more dominant on this series. Because so far, I'm kind of in the same route as the Bedang, right? I feel like there's better options.
He's good. Don't get me wrong. I feel like in terms of
Gato,
being immune
Gato.
to a lot of crowd control,
Gato is open and
quite
Valentina is
overpowered.
banned.
However, he doesn't have the same
So they can go
set
roam
of
Gato,
feel as
Elevate.
most of the traditional XP.
Or
Right? You
BGK.
look at things like the Hylos, the Phoveus, even the Gatot or the Khalid, they have ultimates
This is
that
not
can
that bad for
stun
them,
and
no?
knock down opponents. But you know,
Okay,
going
Hylo's
with
good,
this Lucas,
Aurora, I don't like
it
Aurora.
doesn't have that same raw stun. The response coming out quite interesting.
I don't like Aurora.
Route. I thought it was quite good against anti-dive like the Hayabusa. However, I feel like the Aurora might struggle in terms of the range department against the
Maybe
Eve.
Aurora,
Depends
if they
on
pick
how
Gato,
set up these team
then
fights, but I
Gato
like
jumps,
the
Aurora
Hylos.
ultis,
It does well
and
against
saves her
Eve.
team, I don't know.
RWM gets casted down, and you got that ultimate come out from Hylos. Goalier's pathway. Everyone's going to be immune to the stuns and the slows.
I see YP, hello.
Now, I love how you mentioned the range department.
KFC fighter, Kung Fu fighter, and man who fights naked with other men.
So I guess you get range in the gold lane, but you sacrifice it
What?
in the mid.
You just described
Mid lane,
Snapdragon
but you sacrifice
casters?
that in the gold lane. So I feel like it's the opposite, whereas the Hereth has a lot of CC. On
Yeah,
the other
Lucas
side.
is
So now the final picks
explainer,
are
yeah.
in. I heard the reaction on the
And
the Ruby
Vexana
pickup.
wouldn't
Did
be
that,
much
catch you off
better.
guard?
Or I
Yeah,
don't know, like,
you know, the side of Elevate actually opted
we
to
need
go
a
for
meta
jawhead
mage
matchup against the
that
Hylos
will
when
not
they went against,
suffer from
Incendio.
Hayabusa,
So this is interesting for me.
and will be
Right, we
able
saw
to
in
catch
game one,
Harris.
Ruby didn't perform where the side of Besiktas
Oh,
wanted.
it's hard.
They wanted the Ruby to be able to stun up against a lot of the assassin pressures, like especially the Hayabusa. But this time
Farah
around,
is
they're
useless.
deciding to have the Ruby against the Hylos. I feel like we're going to
Vexana,
see
yeah,
a
Vexana.
very different game 2. Besiktas has opted to set up for that 100% winning lane roam with the Hylos, but game number 2, guys, Besiktas Esports up against Elevate in a best of 5 series. The side of Elevate is up 1-0. So is Besiktas going to come out?
This season is good for mid laners when enemies are bad.
Are they gonna fall behind?
If enemies don't know how to play mid laners, just chill. Chill and
Right
kill.
now, he's running on more of a traditional mid laner, and he's allowing the Joy to go into the hands of Ty. Is this the difference maker? Was that the reason where they fell short in game number 1 against Elevate?
I wanna
Had
see
such
jungler
a strong
rotations more.
performance. I mean, it was just one-sided all over the board, taking every single objective and little to no punish for
Like
Besiktas.
Joy, by the way, can
Yeah,
fight
and I will
Hayabusa.
say,
If
the
she
side of
stacks her
Besiktas is
ultimate,
much
she
more
can go
happily
fight.
this time around with their
Ooh,
mid and their
Hayabusa
roam
retreat.
pick, right?
Joy
Hylos
will invade
is gonna
her.
have a great time against
Oh,
Ruby, although you
please,
can see the
Joy.
prio in the
Don't be a
lanes
stupid
is still
bitch, you
going in the
pussy, you
side
pussy,
of
pussy,
Elevate.
puss.
I think the Aurora's gonna do much better.
They play so passive, damn.
Well, we know that the Eve has more range than the Aurora in the mid lane matchup, so it will be a little
Joy
bit
could
more
have easily
pivotal for
stolen
Yaya
Haya
to
buff
kinda play a little
or
bit
Haya
further
lizard.
back
We're
in
nasty.
that lane. But on the bot side, it's the opposite story. Whereas Ranger, he has more range up against the Hereth, but the Hereth can definitely be dominant. If he closes that distance, could be a problem.
Yeah, Joy is pussy,
And,
but double
you know,
pussy now.
Elevate has done a great job already early game. They're putting a lot of pressure onto the mid side. But again,
Fanny
you can see
Gold?
Besiktas here
What?
getting the early clear on mid side. Yes, they're hugging onto that gold lane. It just shows that they have the
Fanny Gold
dominating,
is bullshit.
matchup here. Again, Besiktas, this is gonna be a complete
Jacket is
different
retard.
game number
Don't-
2.
don't
Just in
pay
terms of the
attention to
draft,
him.
I like it a lot more. Hylos, a lot of early game. You talked about it.
Do you
Eve,
vaping?
yes,
Yeah,
does
I
outrange the Aurora,
do
but
vaping,
Aurora
or
has
vaping do
a
me.
great clear, great stun, and is able to deal a lot of AoE damage, forcing Elevate to have a different type of team.
This season, Mobile Legends nerfed my main, so it's not good for me. Your main is what? Oh, dang. It's always Aurora getting turtles, I know.
From the Wizard on Besiktas Esports, and now Lido in trouble will follow Eski, drawing first blood for Besiktas, a kill and an
Okay, not
objective,
bad.
and another one stacking up as
Oh.
Ayaya
Now they
finding the
won
kill
fight, it's
onto
great,
board.
but it's just random
This
that
is
they won this
beautiful,
fight.
Right now, we get to see.
I mean,
some
not
of
random,
Besiktas'
just
game
they carrying
plans.
by skill,
You
not
get
by
the Aurora
rotations.
to flicker in onto the Hayabusa, and you could see
Joy could have
Joy
destroyed
wasn't in a
Hayabusa with
great
her
position
rotations.
to find that retribution.
She's
He's
just
looking
not
for
doing
more
this
on
for
the
some
bot side.
reason.
Summon Force gets popped out with the Killua skin, just barely getting chunked out, but you can see the aggressiveness coming
Sicilian,
out
your
from
main?
Besiktas Esports. Hylos,
He's still
Aurora,
OP as fuck.
great early game hero, and a
So
stronger
annoying. piece of shit.
Coming out, getting that very first objective.
No escape mage. Like
Yeah,
Cecilia,
great
no,
start for
no
Besiktas
escape mage.
Esports. Definitely a
Still
different story
fucking
from,
everyone.
their first
Even
game
assassins.
in this series, and it's definitely the matchup, the draft,
Flicker.
that has made the difference.
Yo.
Look at that play, the steal.
Fafnir,
The Glacier able to get the steal, able to get that turtle.
somehow
onto their side,
got
and then he
into
finds the
Aurora's
kill
stun.
right after, and there goes a little emote from Ayaya as well. Already off to a great start.
Yeah, great start, but the real world manipulation does come down here. They do get some damage.
3-man
The
stop.
reinforcements come back here. Ty coming out with
Oh
the
my
melody beats. They do pick up the
God.
Ruby here, and the mid side are chasing for more
Okay,
double kill.
outplayed,
Coming out from the
outplayed,
triple from the side of Ty here. We talked about the joy impact. It is so much better in the jungle.
Oh, so much better than the
Oh,
jungle.
Sicilian.
And I think they need to stay with this recipe because it's definitely working. They are cooking in the kitchen
Sicilian
right now.
late game
They
just
got a triple
bullshit?
kill right
No
now. It's
way.
5-0 lead in under 5 minutes, and 3 of those
Yeah, it's
going
Sicilian,
over to
Pedrillo,
Ty
and
on the Joy.
Sasander.
Now, it's kind of like the reverse opening, right? Elevate had that 5-0 lead early
Yeah.
on last game. Now,
Elevate
this series,
destroyed
Besiktas
early
has the
game
lead.
last game.
But one of the
BGK
biggest
destroyed
difference is
early
that take a
games
look
this
at the
game.
gold lane, right? It's still completely
What's
even.
happening here,
Now,
Brawl mode?
second objective. Is Besiktas going to be able to get this here?
They're going to go for it. Fafner able to
Damn.
pick it up in a moment's notice with the invulnerability play.
Damn,
with the
he will die.
Luigi shadow kill, but now Quad Shadows back into the heart of the battle. But Chapo will extend the range
Nah,
and take him
something
down.
bullshit going
He
on
will
here.
fall, but he takes the turtle. Wait a second, though. Tiso, exception, duking it out. Eski, Boro,
Oh, no,
and Lido
Lido.
joining the
Pedrillo
party.
is not a
They
bad
may
word.
Need to get out of there. Eski able to get back to safety. Lido will disengage.
Who will ban me
2K
like?
lead from the side of Besiktas. Looking for more here. Ruby getting chunked dangerously low. Might get taken off the board, but Chapo decides he does not want that kill. Going for a little bit more discipline onto the objective. But you can take a look at Besiktas' aggressiveness here, right? The XP has already been out of the lane. The goalie's pathway gets casted, and they're looking to just waste the Hayabusa's time even more here.
Yeah, just a really good game for Besiktas Esports. A flawless game on their side. 2,300
Okay,
gold
it's-
lead,
it's
and you already seen the Hunter Strike picked
two-
up
2,000
from,
gold lead is not
Chapo,
much.
So he's going to have a
Let's
little bit
be
of that
honest.
pin, a little bit of that initial speed boost as well to be able to be more of a threat. Starlium Scythe picked up from the Hereth as well. Both sides battling it out on the bottom lane. Destinata coming out from Chapo. Cosmic Fission
Chapo
for
will
some
die right
damage
now.
for the counterplay.
wow.
And Tiso will find him. Gold laner falling for Besiktas Esports. And
What the
now
fuck is
we'll
that,
need to
eh?
disengage as a 4-man rotation.
This looks
Onto
like
the bot
Ren
side.
game.
Wait a second, Ty. Ayaya joining the party. Glorious Pathway comes out. Electrifying beats to the back line. Finds Enzo. Lido very low.
Whoa.
Back to the turret he goes. And now it is a 4v4. Tiso able to take down Ayaya off screen. But on the top side, the split push play. And
Dang.
you will see Fafner
Now
take
1k
the turret.
farm. GG's.
Yeah, some mistakes being made by the
Nah,
side of
BGK just
Besiktas.
really bad
Elevate
at
here,
rotating.
played it calm and collective, right? They're able to get
Why
the
you
hit
so
onto
quiet?
Chapo, gets their first kill there, and then they
Because I am
deny
a
the
pussy.
Aurora with a flicker play. So there's Aurora without a passive. So that's double the trouble here. Now Besiktas looking to get the objective here. 50-50 potentially, but it might be a hard one here.
Both sides have gotten the turtle so far. Who will have the advantage? Fafner able to get it again. 2 turtles in a row for Elevate in the heart of the battle, in the middle of the RWM. Demonic Force dropping down the Infernal Pursuit as well. Both sides fighting it out. Eski needing to disengage. Very low. Exception right behind him. Electrifying Beats may be the difference here. And Exception able to get back to safety alongside
BGK just have
Eski.
really
They
bad
will disengage, but
decision making.
Besiktas looks like they're losing their grip. The turtle goes to Elevate.
Yeah, I'm not really happy.
Where
with,
else you stream, bro?
Ty's
I have 2
position
streams on
in all
YouTube.
of these objectives. First turtle, he was close to the objective, but it felt like he was valuing his life, and he didn't even get the retribution off. Second objective,
Mate, hello.
same thing, and now the third one, it's still not even close. Top side here, Hereth gets taken off the
When
board.
was the last
Yes,
time
that
you
is the kill
sucked
that they're
APP,
looking for. A little
Dazai?
bit of an overaggression from the side of
I don't know.
Elevate, a little
I tried to
uncharacteristic. But again,
self-suck.
it doesn't seem like the 50-50s are
No.
happening where the Hayabusa
I didn't
struggle.
succeed.
He's still getting the retributions off here.
Oh, but they're going to try and find a response back. Ayaya will fall. Both sides find it out in the mid lane. Lido taking some hits. Ty down to about 50% HP.
What do you think about Simple? I don't see him long time.
Does he go in for the setup? I don't know. I mean, I feel like
I think he's very racist.
Shadow kill, so he is gonna go ahead and disengage.
Yeah, gold leads 700.
And he should not play with Chinese people.
Since they're not doing too bad, right? They got a top and a bot tower trade from both of these teams. In terms of objective, elevate, I think 2 turtles to 1. So, you know, it's quite even. And again, in their first match, we saw a 14-minute end. This time around, I said it's going to be a complete different game. It is. It's a 50-50 game from both teams.
Device name, bro. Rockfon 7.
Struggling to be able to defend their marksman.
And that's gonna be what makes the
You're
difference.
talking about
right? I mean,
racism?
Like,
if I was a pro player, I wouldn't have told them like, you look like Jackie Chan, bro.
Trying
Like,
to find an answer, a response back, showcasing what in the world? Did see Granger floating in the middle of the air? I thought I'd seen it all in the land of Dawn.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely surprising here, but Inception getting chunked dangerously low. He popped the revitalize
vape device
on the boss side. He was looking for like a 1
Oh, I
versus 3
don't
fight,
know.
but didn't able to get that. And here we go, the aggressiveness coming out from inside to elevate.
X Slim, X Slim too.
We'll check him out. You are looking at Exception, Ayaya and Chapo trying to fend off the push from Elevate on the top side while the Lord has spawned in. Fafnir.
Yeah, I would like, by the way, Gatot for Elevate is better than Ruby.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I don't know what is the point of Ruby, but I like Gatot more.
But this might just be what they're looking for.
Nice, nice
Get a
retry.
kill while Fafnir claims the Lord. 2 objectives for Elevate, and so able to get Ty for the double kill as well. The Wombo combo double, the trouble, and Elevate finding a way to turn this game around.
Yeah, with the lead that the side of Besiktas has, there wasn't really
Just sometimes pro players like Simple, they lose their mind and start being toxic as fuck.
And the objective without losing a single member. This is
Too
really
toxic, too
bad
toxic.
news for the side of Besiktas.
Not
This is
just
the first
competitive
time that
toxic
Elevate
like
actually
Dandy,
was
I
able
don't
to
know.
grab the lead
Dandy was
back
just
from the
dancing
beginning
Gangnam
of the
style
match. Some of it
for
is
his enemies,
like micro mistakes,
like
right?
emoting in
Where,
real life.
you know,
It's
a
fine.
one-on-one fight, they get caught off, bad skills
But do
being
not
used, but
use
sometimes
bad
it's just
words.
macro. The side of
And
Elevate, they're
like
able to group up much
King
better
Chan
as a unit of
Chong
5 and
Ching,
find the picks that they're looking
King
for.
Chong.
And there goes another
It's
pick
bad.
on the board for them as Ty will fall. Now the seeds for the tier 2 turret in the mid lane. Elevate on the push, and BJK on the defense. Not going to be able to hold him off, and it will fall. Ezzo will be the one to take that down. Exception forced to use a glorious pathway to safety, but Fafnir may expand the distance.
Nice ultimate.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, why? Huh? Did you see that?
A YY. Yeah, unfortunate. No ultimates being placed down from the aura. They're not going to be able to have that for the defense. Zamanforts gets Pukin down here, looking to siege onto the top side here. Elevate might bit off more than they could chew here. They do get taken out by the Hereth here, and then another kill. So yes, most definitely Elevate here. They lose 2 members, but they do get a push onto the top side. So is their inner inhibitor tower worth a 2-man death? It's definitely going to come down to if they're going to be able to defend this mid. They
I know, if someone is toxic to you,
Elevate should be quite
first,
safe in
like,
terms of
then
the
you can be
siege that's
toxic as
coming
well.
up. But it's still a 2 conceal play here.
Boro in a little bit of trouble. Used the conceal play, but did not expect them to deal that much damage from that mid bush. And now
Dang,
the punish
Joy.
on the way from Besiktas. Fafnir will
Dang,
find time
Joy.
though. Chapo responds back, taking down Enzo. Lido joining the party, rushes in with the shockwave blast, dealing some damage. Tiso, Fafnir alongside him. A 3v4 in the mid lane. Desanata coming out from Chapo from afar. Both sides putting on a good fight. But BJK finding some pushback.
Yeah,
What is this comeback?
I would kind of say a throw coming out from Elevate, right? You don't conceal 3 versus 5 and you don't even defend mid. You go for a fight, which is a big mistake here.
Ooh, great target prioritization, forcing out the Pride of Ice onto Ayaya. Not able to deal the final touch. Fafner need to get away. Boro trying to kite, trying to stop the push in. A great defense from Elevate. A close call for Fafner and Ayaya, and both of them will retreat back to the base.
Yeah, this is, you know, what the side of BJK has to be looking for. They have to get this objective, but they're getting choked down.
Oh my
so
god.
dangerously low. And the Phobius gets taken off the board right
Enjoy
away.
ulted.
That's bad news for the side of Besiktas as they lost their advantage in numbers. And with the loss in that, they're pretty much going to give away this objective completely for free. This goes back to that square one where they lost.
Like, I'm not really good at
They
this
lost
game, guys, but I
objectives
think
here.
BJK is
Elva
doing
just
something
gonna be able
wrong.
to take this uncontested.
Did you see Chapo on that
Aye,
Destiny?
aye, aye.
I thought he would have stole that for certain, but there goes that matchup that we were talking about when it came to the draft. The Harith against the Phobius, right? Phobius rushes in with the Infernal Pursuit, trying to be aggressive, but the Harith is really good at these frontline composition heroes, and Tiso just completely
When Dazai
shredded
talking
him.
about
Now the
he was
Luminous
not
Sword on the
racist,
top
say
side,
something
and
about
two
Russians.
inhibitors standing. BJK will
Like-
have to put on the defense.
Yeah, but they have a fighting chance though.
No.
You take a look at some of the
Why-
gold leads that
why
they
they're
have.
so stupid?
Everyone
Like,
is
what the
even.
fuck with
Marksman
them?
to marksman, jungle to
I'm not
jungle.
racist,
The only
I just
difference
hate
is that
Russians, I don't know.
2K on Enzo, right? The E just has a little bit more money, but the Lord now is coming down onto the top side, elevates with the aggressive siege. Pop the conceal already, looking to get a little bit more onto the mid side.
And the waves are synced as well, which means this push could work in their favor, but a lot of damage. Boro needing to get out the safety, tied with the electrifying beats. Will fall. Into
Nice.
taking down Fafner, taking down Ayaya. 2 members down from the side of Besiktas. Lord will fall. Lido finding an exception. 4 members down as Tiso takes down Chapo. Eski left to defend against the team of Elevate, and they will rise to the occasion again, claiming game number 2 against Besiktas.
Do you play CS? I played CSGO, but
Much
last time I
better
played
response,
with
right?
Miron.
Much better
We
response
lost
in
the
terms of
game,
early game
and
from
I
Besiktas,
deleted,
but
uninstalled
Elevate is
CS:GO.
still able to come out with a convincing win. 14 minutes in, that means it's 2 Lords. Second
And
Lord,
Romanians?
Elevate is still able
No, I don't
to
have any
push
problems with
forward
Romanians.
on this victory.
I just
And
joke
it's
about
really
them.
Well played from the side of Elevate. This is really showcasing the flexibility in terms of their draft. They're not scared to put something like a Ruby in the roam. They have a great gold lane. They have a great mid
But
lane
when a
matchup,
Putin
and they even have the
comes to my
jungler that
stream,
they won with
I
in
don't like
game
it.
one.
I don't like
So, Besiktas here.
Those
they
small
have to come
Putin
out with a
children.
response, and I think they did find some momentum. Just a little bit more is needed for them to kind of push through in this matchup. They're just missing a little bit more here.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a closer game, which means they're moving toward the right direction. They just got to put a little bit more oomph in it to get that finish, especially when they have the lead against Elevate. But the difference in the gameplay, I think, definitely goes back to that Joy not being in the mid lane and this time being flexed into the jungle and running that traditional mage. But still, even with that perfect recipe in the draft, it was not enough
small
to stop
Putin
the
children
synergy
should be
from
clipped.
Elevate. Their overall composure, able to keep them in that game, able to
The
turn that back
Zylov key
around and
looks
able to
like
find their victory.
Mila Jovovich.
Yeah, I mean, high damage
Who
from the
is that?
Harith is expected here. The Eve,
Let me
which
check,
is
bro.
blind picked early on, also had 80% kill participation. And, you know, I talked about getting the high list for the side of Besiktas, right? Something that is quite secure in the roam position. He did have 100% kill participation.
Mila.
Highest damage tanked. So, you know, in terms of how
Yeah, wait.
the side of Besiktas
Fuck my life.
like the impact was shown significantly early
Кайл
on.
Легранд
However,
задонатив
it just
10
feels like
USDT.
the side of
Валір
Elevate
Скайперсер
has a much
Дазайгон на
better
2,
vibe going
6,
on.
3
Feels like all their
KDA.
members understand what their
Why
role
you
is,
just
able to
didn't
get a
donate
lot
to
of these retribution
Streamlabs?
off, and take a look at the Joy.
Why you
He's
donated
just
me
not
with
in
crypto,
position
bro?
to get the 50-50s.
Where are you
He
from?
knows the
From
boost
Iran
fight.
or something?
Yeah, you mentioned Ty's positioning on the neutral objective plays. Even when they have a full 5-man team, it just feels like he's just a little too far. And that makes the difference when it comes to the retry plays, which helps the objectives go over to Elevate's favor. Even when they had a massive advantage, just to be able to turn this around showcases a couple of cracks in their armor that
I
they
only
need to buff
have
out
crypto?
before game number
Okay.
3.
Yeah, and so game number 3, right?
Okay, I will play Valier with Sky Pierce.
How can Besiktas
I a little bit look like this Mila Jovovich.
And it starts with like first like one game at a time, right? How can they draft better in this game 3? Number 1, it seems like their joy mastery,
but not really. It's just a camera angle right now.
And their jungle position, which means this joy prio, I think is quite good. I think it's something that they.
You didn't want donation with crypto? Like I'm fine. I just.
They put something in like the Hylos and the Mora, which did quite.
You know, to withdraw this money from crypto.
But this gold lane, I feel like there's an issue, right?
A lot of movements.
They can get an advantage with a winning
but it's fine.
In the gold position. Trading a Granger for the
No, I didn't know who is Mila.
That well for them, right? With both of them being banned out and having kind of like that Arithel matchup and carry, it still didn't work out. So I feel like they have to find a way to maybe get something in between.
Yeah, there's a couple of elements to look at this from, right? A couple of different angles, especially with Tiso getting the second MVP in a row. First thing that comes to my mind is, well, if he's getting the MVPs, obviously something's going right for him. And
I never played Resident Evil.
We need to find a way to get to the gold lane. We need to find a way to shut him down so that he doesn't.
Why didn't you not stream yesterday?
Deaths, right? I mean, it's a high value target right
I
there.
was celebrating my girlfriend getting fired.
And to the mid laner to be able to get that job done, unless you go in for the jungle assassin to be able to get to the back line at a moment's notice, to be able to get to that ADC on the ganks. That's going to be the first thing I focus on. The second thing is the back line and the mage prio, right? When you have a Yaya playing on something more traditional and he's running around with the roamer, I just need to see a little bit more push to be able to get to beat the opposing mage tank synergy, right? To get them, beat them to the objectives and find those pickoffs. The third thing is the retry plays, right? I mean, Fafnir, I just feel like he's just a little bit more active on the map. He's finding these kills,
Resident Evil?
And Ty's
no way, it's a movie.
Yeah,
it's a game.
And, you know, talk about the backseat here. We do have a free code for any of you guys out there looking to grab some up in your backseat, right? Like, this is a free code for all you guys. But again, talking about the points, I like how you brought up the retry position of the jungler too. I felt like the side of Elevate, they just have a better response, a better
maybe there is a movie for this game, but it's a game.
50-50 is not 50-50 anymore. It's a 60-40, a 70-30. They're making sure that they're putting a lot of emphasis on zoning out the enemy jungler, and that's what's gonna make it hard.
Yeah, it's best of 5
for the side of Besiktas to be able to even get
one more win from
50-50, right?
Elevate.
However,
And they won.
There is ways to go around that. You could come in with something like an alpha, where it's very objective focus. A Fredrin, which was actually banned out the first game, could be objective heavy, right? You're dealing with an assassin. So against assassins, there's always response for that. I feel like assassins
I'm sucking a big black hole, guys.
Onto getting kills on the opposite side of the map, but they should not be losing, they should be losing in terms of the retribution battle against something like a tank or even a fighter. So maybe drafting towards something outside of the joy could give them a little bit better response here. But again, you have to understand this. Hayabusa is coming out from the side of Elevate. Regardless, Hayabusa is going to be out. Does Besiktas have a response for that? Right, that's number one. Number two, how
she's the main character and her husband is the director.
2 MVPs, no deaths. You talked about it. Can the roam get onto the top side or onto the gold lane? We've seen the roam do a great job there.
Now you say Asian Pines is small. Yeah,
he's
like
showing a lot
this.
of pressure. Maybe something like a Franco Kaja, where
why is so small? Fine.
And get that suppression, or even the Chow.
I'm gonna play after tournament.
Get that Jikundo up there, way the dragon back. It's a guaranteed kill.
We're gonna have this game and one more game, and then I'm gonna play.
Like, I cannot go out unless I see them, or else Tiso is just gonna scale into.
I'm not gonna play much.
And
just few games.
This one again here.
I will play like.
I feel like we know which way this is going, right?
Few games.
Ban that Eve again.
And I will play Valier on next stream as well. Because you donated $10.
Yep. You know what's going to come out for first pick for Elevate should be the Mathilda. I wonder if
So this stream I'll just rival here. Next stream I will be fully prepared.
Really disrupted them, right? You know what's going to follow the Mathilda too, the carry and the Phobius, because Besiktas isn't going to pick that up. They don't have the Mathilda to be able to get them out to safety.
They banned
a very big gamble, so they are forced right now to make that decision. Do we
I'm not
ban
racist.
Mathilda? If they do, then you can go ahead and go for the safer option, like you mentioned.
Russians have
in the
this
second
small
draft,
brain.
right? Picking up the Granger first pick. So right now, Elevate in a very strong position.
Joke, I'm not racist.
Forcing them into checkmate.
I know everyone
has
the same amount of brain. Just some people have it not working.
Percentage rate when it comes to victory.
It's fine.
It's very interesting. I like to bring up that statistics because it's just
this season I push global
viewers
Alice.
might want to know. However, it still has that 30-40%.
Why does
use,
spines matter?
right? It's not guaranteed win, just like the Matilda. It's like a 50% win
You don't
rate
care
here.
about
It
penis
is quite
lengths?
good that a lot of teams are
It's
picking
also
it
fine.
out, but has a lot of bad matchups where a lot of teams aren't exactly willing to blind pick it. It doesn't have the best capabilities on winning mid. And okay, very interesting here. They're actually allowing Besiktas to decide if they want the Granger being taken out or not, right? The Harith has been taken off, so is the Matilda. They're not going with their strategy on the first game. However, this is something interesting. I feel like Elevate is not scared here to assert dominance. I think they're gonna Hayabusa first pick. And they're just gonna be like, oh no! Woo!
Oh,
The Fanny! I didn't even know it was open.
No, you said assert dominance.
Penny means lose.
Yes.
That is asserting dominance right there.
Did you
That's,
hire any editor? No.
whew, that is definitely a bold statement.
You know, Fanny
Only one
has
girl,
matchups that aren't
Karina,
good. Now I am
did me a
not
thumbnail
happy
for
with
free.
this.
That's all.
Okay, I think there is
Tortic,
roamers
hello.
that can lock Fanny down. I think there is junglers that can put Fanny
Like
in
you when
his
you're
place.
playing in
A
jungle.
Ripple, I actually do like this. It's a little bit harder to catch. However,
So
I was
funny,
expecting
so
something
funny.
like a Fredrin opening, or even something like a Franco Kaja. There's still Ruby that has been picked throughout this match. There's the Chow, the Tigreal, a lot of options open. But going with the Badang.
If BJK wins this game, I will show you
I
my
don't know.
pine.
Actually, thinking back now, Badang has had a decent win matchup against Fanny. No, I'm telling you. I think M5 is where Badang actually had a time where they would pick the Badang against the Fanny and the Badang can catch him. So
It's contagious.
maybe I'm gonna eat my wins here.
Don't do this, UA. We've came so far. Now you're looking at the Badang pick
No,
up,
I'm
though.
talking
You
about
have a
my
fist crack, you have the wall,
penis.
but is it enough to stop the cables from hovering around and getting those early pickoffs and bridging the way for the early game? Elevate's going to go in for another early focused hero. They're going to pick up this Farza, who's able to have mobility as well and a lot of damage potential and artillery with the feathered airstrike.
What is Johnny Sims body count, guys?
They're still going to go in for this Joy, which means all 3 games so far they have had the Joy on their side, and 2 games in a row, it was not able to find the victory. So right now, the Joy win rate is going down the drain for the challenge season. But with the Badang, man, it needs a little bit more for me to really get on the board, right? We need something else to be able to catch this Fanny. Now, Fanny can get caught in crowd control now. It's not like she's completely invulnerable with those steel cables. So maybe going in for something in the mage department that can make up the difference could be the game plan. The Hylos, though, I like this, right? I mean, you haven't got to see the Hylos. It was banned
Mr.
out in the last
Kanza,
game.
hello,
It's highly
hello,
mobile.
hello.
It can get a lot of stoppage, and it's a path to escaping or a path to engaging. So a lot of mobility working in the favor for Elevate so far.
Okay.
No.
I'ma shoot you with something.
Mama, I'm a
The
star.
Badang
I'm a super pooper star.
has the wall to stop Hylos in his track. Has the ability to dash and cancel Farsa with almost every one of his spells.
I know. Fanny
also-
counters all enemies.
When we end this game, we're going to read back all these things that you said the Badang
Boro
is
is your
supposed to do. And I'm
friend?
gonna ask
Yeah,
you, did
Boro
you
is
see
my
it, all
friend.
right? Somebody clip
Okay.
this right now before this game starts. All right, UA, continue.
I know BJK is down 0-2. The momentum is not in
I
their
have
favor.
1200 pieces of Hunter x Hunter event, but I don't want other skin about this event. You have mental issues or something? Go buy skin.
These 3 picks that Elevate has set up.
Don't waste your money, dumb shit.
SG 1 year ago. Right? There's a guy
Now
named
Johnny
Diablo,
Sin's count is like, I don't know, 500 probably?
Winning up against Fanny's multiple times.
I guess it's more than 500.
XP though, right? He's not running it.
Yes.
So do you
now this is XP here.
But 4K is too much.
So okay. So the Joy still flex. I love this coming out from Besiktas. I love how they could put the Joy in
Your
the
wife
road,
got
in
champion
the
skin,
mid, or
bro?
in the jungle.
What do you feel about it?
That versatility that
I feel
Besiktas,
the need
it's
for
just
money for
their
the skin.
composition. I like the
I
Ripple
hope it
as
will
the
be
strongest
sexy as
marksman
fuck,
after
please.
the Harith and the Granger. I like this Badong. And now with the Kufra does well against the Fanny, does well against the Farsa. So I like what's going on. Elevate here comes out with the Beatrix.
Boru is roaming,
This might be a little bit tough to deal with because Beatrix is one of those marksmen that has damage that can out damage something like a Joy.
Did you want one?
Lane and outrange something.
Of course I want one. What is this question?
This Kaja, oh my. Elevate takes the Kaja themselves. It's a little interesting. Yeah, I saw your face. Interesting. I think it's to deal with the Joy. However, Besiktas goes with a double assassin.
It's 2800?
I don't know if double assassin is the way here.
Holy shit.
It's interesting for sure to see, and I like the way that this draft wrapped up for
Bro.
Esports. Okay, I was a little iffy
If he
when
had
the Badon
hits
came out, but now that I'm seeing the full
from every
capability of
girl
what they
he
have with this
fucked,
draft, I'm actually starting to like the picture that
he
they're
would
painting.
have
right? You
created
this,
whole
Kufra, like
country.
you said, it's some good counters to the Farz, it's some good counters to the Fanny. You're not putting as much pressure on that Badon to get the ultimate
Anakin
fish crack of a
Skywalker.
lifetime to stop this Fanny, right? You're getting a lot more insurance on the Kufra being alongside
Which one?
you, so that's a lot of pressure.
I want
lifted up from
Julian
Badon.
skin.
Badon down the XP lane, I think could be a little bit better of a gameplay for him. Now the Kaja stepping into the scene for the other side will be a treat to watch as well.
Boro looks like Miron in a more masculine form.
Game number 3 of the challenge season, Snapdragon Pro Series Elevate up against BJK from Group B elimination match.
I'm scared, Weezy. You know, assassin versus assassin in the jungle. Hayabusa actually has a pretty good time up against the Fanny.
If you will gift me Julian skin, I will go global Julian next season.
The Kaja, something we don't see quite often, is great against assassins. So something like the Joy, Hayabusa, it's a great response. And to add on with the damage coming out from the Farsa and the Beatrix, it's going to be hard to deal with. A little early aggression though coming out mid-side. Fanny going in.
Hello, my gay friend.
Oh, them cables
Hello,
ain't cabling.
Turbo Dick Sucker.
They're not cabling right now. It's a little too late to the party. And a good
Funny
aggressive
cowboy.
start
Hello.
from BJK.
Yeah, this is gonna be an interesting opening from the side of BJK here. I expect them to kind of have the advantage because they got the mid matchup that they're looking for, right? Joy against a Farsa. I believe this is the same matchup that we saw when they went up against.
If I give you Julian skin, I play with you 5 games with Hisoka skin.
And
okay.
Look, the dive
English?
coming
Yeah,
out.
English.
Farsa is just not equipped to
True,
handle the damage like that.
Oh,
no
the
problem.
response back from Fafner, but the cables. Oh, he gets taken down himself almost.
Oh, bro, mode.
Play, but the denial from Ayaya last second.
Yeah, this is a little bit tricky because it seems like the Fanny missed a few too much cable. He was able to get the punish onto the Hayabusa. However, you know, Fanny is a very snowball hero, and I'm not sure how Fafner is with the Fanny.
If I feed, don't show my name on stream.
It's momentum based.
No, it doesn't work like that.
1-2 good plays.
If you feed,
making good plays.
every dog on the server will know you're bad.
Hard. And it just seems like, look, Besiktas, they're having prio over the objective, which means the Hylas is quite useless early on. They don't have a great matchup with the Farsa, and also the Kufa does well against the Kaja traditionally. I really like how BJK has set their draft up, and it comes down to putting this Joy into this flex position. They're able to find the matchup that they're looking for either in the mid or in the jungle.
Let Fafnir warm up with Fanny, guys.
Going into this mid game
He
here.
needs a little bit of time.
Yeah, and I mean, right now they definitely have the advantage, at least for the early phase. Can change at a moment's notice. But this is similar to what
Hi,
we
I
saw in
came
game
to
number
you
two.
from
They
one
had such a
YouTuber.
massive advantage, and
I
it
play on
quickly was
Fanny
turned
and I
around from
want to
Elevate,
ask
so
how I can improve
they
my
need to know how
skill.
to keep this momentum rolling, right? They got to make sure they don't make a mistake.
I
for it
have
to flip
nothing
back
to say, bro.
against
I don't
them, and
know.
that's what I'm going to be keeping a close eye on as we progress through game number 3.
Yeah, but I really feel like BJK has
Improving skill with some hero, yo. You just need to play that hero.
They're rotating.
That's all you need.
They're sitting in bushes. They have the lane prio. Look, mid lane is cleared so much faster, allowing this roam and this mid matchup
But
to
you should
have the
not only
ability to
improve your
run
skill
around
with
the
hero
whole
like
entire
macro
map.
skill.
Topside, though,
You should
3-man
also improve
full man siege
macro
coming
skill,
out
your
from the side of Elevate,
rotations.
potentially looking to push back.
It's
but
easy to
BJK with
mess
a
up
good response,
rotations
knowing
with
that they're
Fanny.
outnumbered here, decides to
Mess
back
up your
off.
decision making.
Yeah, decides to back off.
Because she
So
opens,
Fafnir,
because of
he
her
did pick up one
mobility,
kill up against
she
Tide, but both
opens
of
so
them
much
having 1 kill, 1 death,
opportunities
which means they're pretty much
that
even
people
in this
sometimes
situation. But
choose
Tide
wrong
going
ones
for more of the neutral objective turtles,
and
where I
to
feel like
waste
Fafnir's
their
gonna try and
potential.
shoot off for the side lanes, but we'll figure that
Yeah,
out
nice,
momentarily.
nice.
We just shadow kill far behind enemy lines. The wing by wings forced out from Enzo to escape.
Yeah, the shadow kill does come off, but the
Not
response,
bad,
the
not
Kaja
bad.
able to get the stun, and the Kufa ultimate does come down onto the marksman, but no response coming out from Set Inception. He does get taken off for Fafnir, going for a little bit more here. Picks up
Nice.
the Rithal here, the Fanny going crazy, gets that double kill. Side of Elevate already
Damn,
with a
triple
kill,
kill.
and gets another one. The mistakes coming out from BJK is just too costly. That is an objective and 3 kills, pushing Elevate to a 1k gold lead.
Pizza
Fafnir
or
able to get the
burger,
job
bro?
done just when we had a little bit of doubt.
Pizza.
Definitely still keeping a close eye on him, but getting that triple kill.
I will
not the
give my
easiest
account
thing
to
pull off. I
Miron
was wondering
for
what kind
play
of Fanny we were
Hisoka,
seeing
but
today,
he
right?
will
Was it
feed
gonna be
more
old
than me.
school antenna cables, or was going to be satellite TV?
Yes.
I think we got a little bit of satellite TV on the way.
I think he already has Hisoka skin.
We definitely saw a little
He
bit
wanted
of
to buy
miscable,
some
but
skins.
Fafnir here, I
So-
mean, showing us
Now, he told me that
Fanny
Hunter x
is
Hunter skin
good work,
sucks.
and it came down to Boro's setup, right? We saw
But he
the
wants
suppression
at least
coming
one skin
out.
from
They're
them.
able to pick up their first target and just snowballed from there.
I told him that I
Elevates
like
in a
Julian's
very,
skin, and
very
he told that
happy
Julian's skin is
position
bullshit.
So far, BJK looking to
We
find
have
some
different
response. They do have
tastes,
the front
you
line to be
know?
able to set up a Chapo here alone on the top side.
Oh, the flicker play. Divine Judgment at Enzo with the feather
Why
strike.
is our
Seals the
streamer
fate
not
of
good like these
Chapo.
guys?
Target has been
Why
seized, but
you
now the
can't
counterplay
just
on the
shut
way
the
from
fuck
Bashisa.
up
The wall comes
like
down.
this
Grenade Barber
Asian
dropping down as well.
caster?
Both sides fight it out. Glorious pathway cutting off. The retreat in Lido will find Eski. Exception, Ayaya left on the top side against a 3-man rotation from Elevate.
You know, there's always that awkward feeling as a roam where you're full health and your whole team is dead. Right? And this is exactly what it's looking like here.
Ooh, time revenge on the wall. You've seen the turret drop though on the top
Woody,
side.
hello.
Electrifying Beast will find Lido. Tiso finding Exception, a 1-for-1 trade.
2k gold lead for the marksman here. The Beatrix already building up that Blade of Despair. That's going to be a huge damage difference in that gold lane. However, Ayaya is actually doing quite well. About an 800 gold lead. However, in terms of the junglers, seems like there's a 500 gold lead for the side of
500
Fafnir.
bucks.
So, Elevate with a decent chunk of gold lead onto the marksman.
Nemoka is just
Side of BJK
gay.
looking to get the objective, and it's
Don't
gonna
ask
be
him
uncontested
anything.
here. Potentially looking for a fight.
Yeah, looking for some type of trade. They lose the turtle. Exception forced to retreat. Has to use the flicker to expand the distance, but able to make his way back to safety.
Yeah, you know, a decent response from the side of Besiktas. This does show that Elevate aren't really looking to siege on objectives as much, right? They're looking for Fafnir to get some pickoffs here. He
he's
comes
so
in with
buff?
Steel
No.
Cabers. You talked about it. Is this satellite friendly? And you know, Fafnir definitely showcasing some ability on that.
He just stole that purple buff. This man just did a flyby, retreat, stole the purple buff, and went back to
He
the
didn't
side
steal
of the jungle.
the blue
And now
buff,
they
you
want
retarded
blood.
caster.
They want a response, and Lido trapped behind a wall. They used everything
He didn't
against him,
steal
and he
a
was
buff.
able to sustain
He
himself.
killed the small creep with
This is
retry.
bad. Watch Enzo looking
He
for
killed
bait.
a small
It's gonna be
creep
four-man
with
siege from the
retry.
side of
What the fuck
Besiktas,
is talking
and
about?
that Kaja is just gonna come out of nowhere, get the suppression, and it's gonna be a free.
I already told
Besiktas,
that,
I feel
like, BGK rotations
they're
are
certainly
bullshit.
under a lot of pressure. It feels like they have the winning draft, but in terms of how they're setting their team fight up, how they're protecting their marksman, the four-man, Ube unit from the side of Elevate is just a little bit too much to deal with, right? Like,
They are too
the marksman,
safe.
free farming, completely uncontested on
Like,
the bottom side. They
if,
have the
like,
opposite,
let's-
half of the map compared
What
to
the fuck is
Lord.
it?
So, definitely.
Let's visualize decision making like
On the back end,
best
for sure, but
decision,
don't wanna count him out just yet. They
mid
need to
decision,
find an opportunity,
and bad
a
decision.
window, a mistake.
BGK, instead of choosing bad decisions or something in between mid and best decisions, best and mid decisions, they always choose mid decisions, while Elevate is choosing like close to best decisions, close.
For the challenge season.
Yeah, and these
They're
pressure does
just
come
losing
out
too
here
much
in close
opportunities.
area, which is a great target. But instead, they
BJK
got
is
traded
from
for the
Turkey.
Beatrix. I don't know if that's a win here, but if they're able to get a little bit more, that's great. Fanny on the bot side gets that tower. The fish crack does come down. It is some damage with the high boost onto the backside. Does pick up Boro. It is a 2-for-1 trade, although they did get denied a tower.
Boro nab
Having winning
report.
trades here on a losing matchup is going to be great for the side of Besiktas.
Yeah, Fafner went in for the turret, pushes
I
dead.
also-
Ty is going to take down Lido. Fafner without the purple buff, forced to go to the jungle, opening up the opportunity for Besiktas to take this Lord. I wonder if he's still going to go in for a 50-50 retribution play. I mean, they don't have the numbers. It's a full four-man stack to defend. Finish Rage dropping down, does not hit the mark at about 40% HP. Fafner trying to cable around. Ty spots him out, goes on the chase. Ty able to get the retribution with the quad shadow play, and Fafner forced to go back to safety. Finds his cabling into the turret on
Bro
the top
missed
side.
3
Exception
cables.
winding up for the setup, gets the knock and the pushback onto the wall. Yaya finding Boro. That is going to be one member down for Elevate and a lost Lord for their side.
Game 4. Besiktas here with,
Jiao. Hello,
a sliver of
Gabriel.
hope. Getting some pickoffs here and there translates to an objective. This is the difference between game 2 and game 3. They're able to find kills, and it translates into an objective. It translates into something a little bit more. That's what Besiktas was missing, and they're able to do that. They're able to take care of that mistake here. Four-man siege onto the bot side. They pick up Lido once again here. However, it seems like Elevate looking for some response.
Yeah, looking for a potential pickoff play, but not able to close the distance onto Ty. Chapo, though, speaking of closing the distance, does take the turret in the mid lane.
Mid and top gonna be both going down here. The side of Besiktas coming out.
I didn't even see they have Bear.
They had past 10
They
minutes.
should play more with Bear.
The first 2 games, unfortunately, it was just one-sided, and by the time it was this 11-minute mark, they already had the inhibs going down. So this time around, Besiktas already in a much better position. They're looking to deny some of the Fanny's up here. I think that's great. They might be able to get it here.
I saw the retribution come out. Looks like they were not able to get the contest invasion play onto the purple buff. Fafner able to pick it up just in time. I was looking at Fafner's build too. He went in for the War Axe first and then the Rose Gold Meteor. That's not something you see too often on a Fanny, but definitely interesting to see how it has actually been working for him as he's 4-1 right now.
It's a little bit more sustain heavy, right? I believe at some point we had this one-shot Fanny build become very popularized, where people go something like a Blade of Despair, a Blade of Heptases, you go for Pen, something like Malefic Roar. But nowadays it seems like
you can play after this, not after this game, but after next game.
Building something like a War Axe gives a little
There is also another pair of teams.
and just a little bit more overall damage in the long run with a little bit less burst.
Speaking of burst, Fafnir quickly bursted to the moon. That is going to be exception.
Whoa.
Able to get that kill. But now the counterplay
Ayaya
from Elevate
coming.
in Abu's fashion coming out as well. Yaya trying to wrap around for possible electrifying beats moment. Not going to find the opportunity, and now going to shift focus on clearing out these waves.
Yeah, they decided to
Fafnir died before Lord.
flickers for Fafnir, which I definitely feel like it's worth it. They do get the stun onto the Fishcrack God. The Badang gets taken off the board. It's going to be a 4 for 4 here, but without a retribution, the side of Beshitas gets the objective uncontested here.
Yeah, fire
Looking for
damage
picks
is
up
crazy.
the highlights here and the double kill. That's some good news from the side of Besiktas.
Ty able to not only get the Lord, but to get the double kill alongside it and not find anything. I guess Eski fell in the process, and I feel like that really opened up because Eski took all the damage. He forced out a lot of utility before they tried to engage, right? A lot of the ultimates and skills came out, which gave VJK the ultimate advantage, and now with this Luminous Lord on their side, like you mentioned, past that 10-minute
Why Fanny has
threshold,
like 0
13 minutes
damage?
in, VJK has a chance to win their first game in this series.
Yeah, and this is big, right? Besiktas got the first Lord, now moving on to the second one. They're looking for some of the inhibitors, potentially. They might be able to get a siege onto
Yes,
this
I'm
side,
from
but it seems like
Ukraine.
Elevate is quite disciplined in terms of their defense. They have wave clear. They have the ability to start big team fights, right? The Glorious Pathway paired up with the Feather Airstrike. It's going to be a hard siege coming out from Besiktas. Now paired up with the potential of a Flicker Kaja. It's really
Oh,
hard
shit,
for
bro.
Besiktas to get a siege unless they do it from the bush here.
Ooh, Feather Airstrike coming out from Enzo. Tiso able to find exception, a little bit of a misplay, trying to find the setup for Besiktas Esports. Luminous or Lord on the top side
Besiktas.
does come down, trying to open up the base in BJK's favor. Numbers not on their side.
Yeah, but they do get that Lord being pushed onto the top side inwards, right? So the tower is already in half HP. Besiktas should look to back out and try to find a way to rinse and repeat these objectives. It seems like Besiktas, they have a great way of setting up some of the sieges. Seems like some of their fights look good. The only difference is they have to almost sacrifice somebody for Boros.
Dang, show me Fanny build.
Every single time.
Fanny
was
with what
Lord
X?
SQ
Seriously, man?
on, and then on that last
Can't give
siege,
Fanny
it
build.
was the Kufra. So somebody
Oh
kinda
my
has to
fucking
die here.
god.
However, the flicker only comes
Fafnir
down,
is so
on like a
obsessed
2-minute
with this
cooldown.
sustain
So
build.
if the Kaja is looking to go for a little bit of a fight, it's still based off of kind of like a 2-minute cooldown. Elevate still has a way to deal with this. However, if you just take a look at how they're setting up these fights still, Elevate is playing kind of on a defensive position, playing on the far side of the map.
I forgot Valir has legend skin.
Marksman's picked up the Malefic gun as well, so they will have that extended
What's the
range
level of this
for these
series?
next engagements. Now, I love how you mentioned this Kaja, right? I mean, when is VJK forced to basically let somebody rush in and take that Divine Judgment to the
I
field?
know.
And this time, it will be Ty. Fafnir will get the kill.
What
on
are
him as well.
levels
They
of
don't
series?
have their jungler, which means it will not be a 50-50
Miron,
play
hello.
for the Retribution. But look at the stack. Look
I
at
am
the
not
push. Besiktas
commenting that,
Esports
I'm just
rushing in.
watching that.
Lido able to spot him out. You're going to see the Venice Rage drop down in the heart of the battle in the mid lane. A lot of damage on a Tiso, though, forced to disengage. They're buying time, though. Good defense from Besiktas, as Ty only has 20 seconds now.
Good
before he
second
spawns
from
back in,
Besiktas.
and
Come on,
they're
guys.
not going to be able to push in for this Lord.
it's a good defense, but a lot of spells and utility being traded out, right? Yeah, had to use that vengeance and the ultimate, so they're not gonna be able to have that in this next upcoming team fight. And look, Elevate is taking advantage of that. They know the skills are on
Who forgot Bell?
Now both sides fighting it out.
Bell died like Miron.
Tiso, Enzo finding exception. A 1-for-1 trade. Look at the Lord. Fafner able to get it for Elevate. They have found the turnaround and they will disengage.
Best Lord, useless Lord.
This is crazy.
Can be a useless Lord.
And Inception was able
Yeah,
to
it's Marlboro.
the punish onto
Marlboro,
the Beatrix.
Laito,
It's so Tiso here literally gets taken
Tiso,
off the board without doing
Enzo.
any bit of damage, but Fafner's retribution just still comes in straight clutch. He gets the objective, doesn't
Fafnir.
die, and the side of Elevate, yes, the
Fafnir.
Beatrix is down. It's a 4-for-4 siege so far. The side of Besiktas, they're going to have to give away some of the towers. It might be both the mids, it might just be one of them, but this defense is going to be hard. Yes, Feather Airstrike is gone, but there's still the potential, the Glorious Pathway, and the suppression.
They got Kaja.
Punish on the top side.
Nice ulti, nice.
Find Boro. The Roamer falling for Elevated. Yaya finding Lido. 2 members down as they tried to take an
Dang, it's
opportunity.
gonna be
They
a long
saw
game.
Besiktas bursting down the lure before
23
it even made
minute
its way
game.
to the
Mark
inhibitor
my
turret.
words.
They thought they could get the kills from the overextension from Besiktas, but it worked in Besiktas' favor.
Yep.
Your friend has disappeared? No, he's still there.
Almost taking out Ayaya there. Ayaya popped the vengeance. I think that saved his life. But now the siege coming out from Besiktas.
Marlboro already winning 2-0 right now.
Wait a second, though. They need to
Oh,
put up
bye-bye,
brakes.
Penny.
Tie very low. Luigi Shadow kill. Not gonna deal any damage,
Bro.
though. You're looking at the win and H taking
What the
Elevate,
fuck is
able
bad
to do
doing?
some damage.
Kill.
Exception. After
Oh,
trouble, finding
sh-
Tiso, killing for activated. Boro finding
Farsa
Chopper,
solo.
back. 3 members down for Besiktas Esports. A double kill for Boro. Lido left to defend alongside him. 2v2 in the mid lane. Besiktas denied on their push.
Yeah, 3-for-2 trade, but it was kind of, you know, both marksmen died, both junglers died. There's not going to be too much siege coming out. There is damage coming out from this Farsa, but the Badang, with the amount of cooldowns that he has, right? Magic shoes.
Oh, I don't like this
into
Fanny
the
build.
Oracle, brute
Fucking
force.
sell this
This
Vorex
dude
or I
is
will
running
find you.
fast, and he has so
Dude.
much mobility. That is the strength of that Badang pick. That is why I feel like the Badang is quite good in this matchup. However, Besiktas has to look for a way to close this game out. They're already doing much better than game 1 and game 2. If they end up getting a winning team fight, they definitely have the potential to close this out and push us into a game number 4. But Elevate, they have the win behind them. They won game 1, game 2. And it seems like they have the ability to, you know, get the pick off that they needed here, potentially even right here. They have the Kaja.
Oh,
right?
okay,
They get to
Joshi.
pick 1 unit and rinse and repeat based off of the cooldown. But BJK with a great position.
I don't know, Miron.
Yeah, but
Maybe
Elevate
after
trying to
this
find a
game,
path
I'm
into
gonna
the
have
Lord
one
pit
more
for
game.
the contest. They know this objective
We'll
may
see,
be the
we'll see.
difference in who wins this game. A chance to possibly eliminate Besiktas Esports from the challenge season, and they're gonna go for the opportunity tie. We'll take the Lord. A good start for
Oh,
Besiktas,
Ayaya will
but now
die.
need to get to safety. Enzo with the shutdown on Ayaya, unstoppable. Chopper responds back, finding Fafner. Exception,
who
very
that
low
as
himself,
well.
needs to get away. Lordeski trying to use the fist crack, trying to get away.
No.
Lord now intact on the top side to push back Elevate. It has bought Besiktas some time.
Bell,
No
please
way.
don't die
We
right
are
now.
now past the 20-minute mark. We are in the late game.
I told this game gonna be
and I think
23 minutes.
Besiktas is really happy with the position, but this is so risky coming out from Elevate.
Ooh.
They're looking for a potential. Oh, they get the Rithel here. His immortality he does come down, but the high boost
Damage from Farsa is insane.
Off of the map. Are they gonna be able to take this? Another kill Inception does fall, but it's Batiso here is the last man. Do they get the Lord? They get the
Oh,
Lord.
mid lane
it
falling.
is going to be a good trade for the side of Elevate here. I thought it was a risky position from Elevate, but that Feather Airstrike completely took the Rithel out of the whole entire fight here.
clean up on the top side. Besiktas a little overly aggressive, a little overconfident, even with the advantage of the Lord, not phasing Elevate at all. And now they will have a stalemate. Now being past the 20-minute mark, the respawn timers are going to be massive. So any member that falls, you can pretty much guarantee them out for at least a minute plus. So they are going to have to keep that in mind as we progress through the rest of this game. This is now effectively a 50-50.
Yeah, I mean, a 22 minutes, by the time the Lord spawns, it's going to be a 25-minute Lord. This Lord is going to be hefty. But again, it just depends on how both teams are looking to set up. If a Rithel, if any of the marksmen or the jungler lives,
no, it's going to be 25-minute game.
The towers are all
next Lord is just winning floor.
Sweep each other, the other team is going to win, and it just depends on how they're looking to set up the team fight, right? For the side of Besiktas, they're looking to cancel the Farsa no matter what. If they have to use a flicker on this Badang, if they have to get the Joy on top of him, they have to cancel the Feather Airstrike. That's number one. Number two, if the Joy can get on the ultimate with the Vengeance on that Beatrix, Besiktas is going to have a great time in these team fights. However, if Elevate gets the Feather Airstrike off, if the Beatrix is completely free from any zoning in these team fights, Elevate is going to win. So both teams, they have the ability to turn these fights if they make the correct micro and macro moves. But Inception here in a very dangerous position. The Kaja has the flicker, so even Tai is in a bad position here.
Yeah, but both junglers have a lot of mobility, so they can go in for the split push plays to try and force a member off of this next Lord that is now spawned in. It's going to be a boil of who can get to the back line or who can find the jungler first.
Oh, bad.
Be the one to engage.
Matrix, what the
with the Tyrant's rage, and Tai will find Tiso.
Oh, funny.
Exception will fall. Fafner with the cutthroat, with the steel cables. Baneski with the punish. Double trouble, double kill. This Badang is Badanging. It's cracked into Boro. Enzo trying to get away.
No, GG's.
With the heavy crossbow. We'll find another member of
Badang is so strong here right now.
All by himself. Besiktas esports for the punish.
Nah, Beatrix died like Miron, I swear.
With the shutdown and a full wipeout. And Besiktas esports finds their first victory this challenge season. It takes us to a game number 4.
This is the Snapdragon Pro Series here. A 2-1 reverse game from the side of Besiktas here. Able to get this victory, 25.
Miron, you really like dying versus Hooper as well.
A tight match coming out from both these teams. But the last set coming out from Inception on this Kufa, a 3-man Tyrant's Revenge, completely clutched up, and the follow-up was even more beautiful. We saw the fish crack multiple times coming out, and I said, this Badang is so good against multiple members. This Prio is so interesting here. It's such an EU Turkey MENA vibe, and the Badang shows its skill once again. Gets a few flickers, crucial sets, and able to close out this match against Elevate. This is the match we've been looking for, Wheezy.
Man, this is just stupid brawl mode with stupid mistakes.
Now I see
this is not a match I was waiting for.
Man, what a series. 24 minutes, the longest game we have had so far. Look at the MVP.
Yeah, I go toilet, guys.
Well deserved, right? In the beginning, I was questioning the Badang blind pick. It was something that hasn't really shown its worth, in my opinion, as a dominant blind pick XP laner. We've seen things like the Phoveus blind pick well, or even the Hylos do well, or even the Lucas. But this Badang blind pick was so good here. We saw plenty of options where the Hylos was stuck, the Farsa was stuck, and the Badang was able to get right on top of them. The MVP was well deserved, but however, I think there's other, members from the side of Besiktas that done well. He joy flex into the mid. They're just not scared of that. The setup coming out from the inception. Yes, the Kaja was able to get picks after picks, counter sets after counter sets, but that last 3-man set themselves up for good here, right? And then there's also Chapo here with the Rithel just on the backside, making sure he stays on alive. He's on a Rithel, so he has the range, has the mobility. He's able to find the response that they're looking for. A tight game coming out from both of these teams, but Besiktas just played that tad bit better.
Yeah, just a beautiful ending to that game as well. I mean, their backs were against the wall, right? That was their elimination match right there. If they would have lost that, they would have been knocked out of the challenge season, and we would have bid farewell until we open the doors next time around. And so you can definitely tell the pressure is rising with that, the intensity and the gameplay alongside it. And
Jin,
just the counter maneuvers to be able to turn that game and steer it around in their favor shows a lot of promising things for the future for Besiktas esports, specifically for Exception
unlucky moment for
and
Bear.
Eski. Both of them, a great job on initiating and finding the setup at a moment's
God,
notice. And that's what made the difference to be able to close this game.
Bullshit.
And there was the setup we were talking about. The Tyrant's Revenge for the stun, the fist crack coming out as well. But then wait a second, we're not done. We're wrapping around on the side. Fafnir can take that Exception, but hey, we've got a Bedang. Eski rushing back around, and this is that beautiful play where he takes him out, and they close it out with the base crystal. Game 4, moments away, and UA, a great series.
Yeah, Badang MVP.
It's always interesting to see this Badang, and I actually got to play it once in my ranked games, I think 2 nights ago. My chat told me support emblem cooldown. All right, support emblem cooldown, and it's pretty much the same exact emblem as this, and they want you to go that magic boots. They want you to go that oracle. But Dong, the greatest strength that he has is his second skill is like on like a 7-second cooldown. So if it's maxed out, it's essentially like a dash. It's like 4 seconds with max cooldown. He has the flicker. He has the oracle sustainability. Right?
No, elevate. Ban Badang again and win a game, easy.
Alongside with being able to proc the Thunderbelt as much as he can. Every single skill.
Now I have grown up more cute. I'm 17 years old now. Happy birthday, I don't know.
First skill, that's a proc. And he just keeps going back and forth, back and forth. He just stacks up all the.
No, they were banning Badang all games. They didn't ban Badang this game, and they lost the game.
Badang is a great move. I can't say it is the meta.
Hello, Jackie-chan.
At least in this region, it is a very impactful hero.
It's funny because how everything comes back full circle. I said in the middle of the draft I was going to ask you, and now UA, I'm going to ask you, did this Bedang perform how you were looking for him to perform?
Yes, however, that was a good draft.
Hi,
that was a good draft for the Bedang.
hi, can you...
Guys,
she says Apanyo.
Into that next game, game number 4 between Elevate and Besiktas.
A year closer to Graveyard. Thanks.
And we're going to be back with some more Snapdragon Pro Series gameplay.
Where do you go, guys? Wait, what the fuck? Whoa. What the fuck? Oh no, it's last game. Probably GK surrendered to STG. Yeah, GK just surrendered. Because if I watch streams, like look. If I go to start of stream, there is nothing here.
Congrats. Okay. Good one, good one.
Are you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Just
Only the top
10 minutes of nothing.
APAC, LATAM, EMEA.
One last chance to go big or go home. The hunger for redemption is real. The drive for victory unmatched, and only the best will have a chance at regional glory and global acclaim. I'm your host Liz, and you're watching the Snapdragon Pro Series. Snapdragon Pro Series.
That's right, guys. Stay up to date with the latest and greatest. Hopefully today
Let's
will be full of
listen to
highlights.
them.
So far, the Snapdragon Pro Series Challenge Season 6 has yet to disappoint.
Yeah, and this is going to be quite a bit, Liz, for the format today.
Yeah, so for this tournament, we've been through the open qualifiers and open finals, and now we're in the challenge season in January. Now, the best teams will make it to the challenge finals, which will be held on February 8th to 9th, and they will qualify for Mobile Masters held in Indonesia, Jakarta, on April 7th to 13th. Now, 12 teams will qualify for the Mobile Masters from across all the regions, and there will be one home team from Jakarta.
Yeah, Mobile Masters, like we said, 12 teams ready to go the distance from 5 different overall regions, right? APAC, EMEA, LATAM, China, and also the home team. So I'm excited to see which way this goes, all the way in the heart of Indonesia as well, Jakarta. It's a great time for the Mobile Legends season and a great time for Snapdragon Pro Series.
Yeah, I think one of the more important things is there's only going to be 3 teams that do qualify from this region, right? It's still going to be the 3 teams that we send up, and they're going to have to compete against all the different regions out there. China, especially. I know Jakarta is going to have a team. It's probably the Liquid ID, but yeah, it's going to be a tough bracket for everyone.
Oh wow, Weezy already, you were already making his predictions. Liquid ID. I wonder what Onyx is feeling right now. But nonetheless, all the teams still have to go through open finals and open.
Like you see,
and right now,
like
the challenge
3-0.
season, so they have a long way
why?
to go. Now, Group 8 matches. Today, we were supposed to see GK Esports versus S2G, as GK and S2G were dropped down to lower bracket in the last week's match. However, unfortunately, GK was not able to find a full roster today, so they unfortunately are out of the series.
Really?
Yeah, a little unfortunate for GK, but we will
Yeah,
press
GK
on
just
forward to
didn't get
Group
her for
B. Still the
tournament.
same format, double elimination. You're seeing Incendio Supremacy and
What the
Falcons over
hell?
there in the upper bracket qualified for the challenge finals, but on the lower
It's a best of 5, so we're coming close to the end. It is game number 4. So Elevate, they have to win one more, and Besiktas has to win at least this one to get
Dazai,
on
let
to
me know
that
what you
next
wish
game.
for me in the
Both
future.
very, very tight,
Or at least
and
some
very
motivation,
competitive in
please.
terms of the game level, especially when the draft is set right. And we could already see Besiktas coming back in this series. Game 1,
Interesting. What I wish for you.
14-minute close, one-sided, and they barely got any kills in the very first game. And now game number 2. They were able
I
to
wish
find
you
a
to
little
be
bit of
best at what you're
momentum
doing.
early on. Unfortunately, past that 10 minutes, didn't find that response. And game number
don't
3,
care about
we
what others
bounced
say.
into a 25-minute
Great
bloodbath.
wishes.
Trades coming in from both sides, draft differences,
Be the best.
strategies, all that sort of
Be
stuff.
happy.
Combine it in one game. It was a beautiful performance coming out from both teams, but Besiktas was able to find
Dazai say
close. Game number 4 now,
Abaneo.
Weezy. What are we
Abaneo.
looking at? Is there going to be high prio on the Badang, or
Is
are
this
we just
better
gonna be
words?
looking? I mean, I think the Hayabusa is definitely going to be showing.
the Hayabusa for certain should be walking here. The Hilda yet to be banned out, though. I'm wondering if that's going to be taken off the board first, but to kind of make it a little bit easier for that Hayabusa to traverse across the map. Now, the Badang, we asked the question, is it worth being banned? Is it meta now? Is it just reshaping the way MLBB scene is being played? And just from the last
hello,
game,
Kevin.
I don't know, man. I'm still
10
Okay,
p.m.
so
right now.
I wasn't a fan of that. That was fire, but I still don't know if it'll be effective as just
Yes,
a
that's
solidified
it.
roamer
I
without
love
having
it.
something that can also
Okay.
like make up for the crowd control, right? I mean, that wasn't a Badang roam. That was a Badang XP. You mentioned Diablo. You mentioned him from
On the XP.
Smile,
and you said
smile
that
at your
was where
enemies.
It worked out, and I was like, well, that was the XP, not the roam. And now we see Badang work out again, but in the XP and not the roam. So is that where we see him more effective?
Well, interesting you brought that up, because in Diablo's case, right, they only picked the Badang against the Fanny. That's the condition, right? That's the matchup that they're looking for, that extra oomph in their draft. However, these two teams, I feel like they're not scared of picking Badang blind. Like it's something that they could really go with, and I think it could be a possible mistake. Right, last match, the Badang was great against the first 3 picks of Elevate. Great. You could see the impact throughout the whole entire game. The walls that were coming out, the displacements, the stuns, even some of the escapes. You can see the Badang shine quite a bit, but this time around, it's
No,
not
you
there.
should
However,
smile like...
Granger is available.
No.
It's a Granger, it's a Joy.
You should smile like this.
Even the Matilda is all... Oh my... It is not the Granger or the Joy. The Hayabusa, which had 100% win rate in this series, gets picked up first. This does open up the Granger for Elevate. This is hard.
Not just the Granger, the Mathilda as well. And then, I mean, they're not worried about picking up the Phobius either. I think that may be things that Elevate goes in for against BJK. I feel like just too much prio on the Hayabusa this early on, right? I feel like you could afford to lose the Hayabusa in this type of situation. There goes the Mathilda, there goes the Granger, and there goes an advantage that BJK is going to have to work against with Elevate.
You know, remember in game number 3, I was like, I feel like Elevate is going to explode off of this draft. They're going to go for that aggressive dominance, asserting dominance. And BJK here going out with that strategy, I think is quite smart. Yes, it might be too early, but 100% Hayabusa win rate in the series means the Hayabusa is a very high pick priority coming out from both teams. Denying it away from Elevate is a strategy.
Okay, Matilda, Granger,
Hayabusa.
Fucks them, but
they have the Joy available, but I don't think it's going to be.
you can combine Matilda with someone.
They need to find a way to deal with Matilda. And in game number 1, they did not have a response. I love this Arithel pick. I think this was smart because Arithel, they won with Arithel in the last match and they can win lane against the Granger, but the Joy comes out. See, shaking her head.
Are you feeling sleepy?
It's hard for me because Elevate has already dealt with
I am
the Joy
sleepy
mid
as fuck.
with the Valentina Matilda matchup. I'm almost certain they're going to be coming out with that again.
No, Joy is good here.
Why Yaya on this Joy, but you're gonna see the Valentina picked up from the other side.
Inferno
Honestly,
dubs.
I thought that Yaya would have been the one to pick up the Valentina, just to have a little bit of insurance, because you know with this Mathilda, we may be seeing a little bit of crowd control or something that the Valentina could profit on. But
it was
this, Valentina
English from Great Britain, guys.
In the favor for Besiktas Esports, because technically right now they don't have anything that the Valentina can profit on, and they can continue to ride that wave. Now, this Phobius was not picked up, which means it's a great chance for Besiktas Esports to go ahead and just ban that out entirely and not even have to worry about it. And this is different.
I'm gonna play Rising.
In the first game
I'm gonna play
series,
few ranked games and I go sleep.
From Elevate, right? We saw them prio the carry. We saw them prio the Phobius. This time the carry is not here. It is going to be
Joy is good here because she will make enemies use dashes and then Haya will come
would be
and kill all enemies.
Than the Granger is, right?
Joy is like bite for
dashes. Besiktas Esports the gold lane prio when it comes to the longevity of the game from early to late.
Oh, Miron, I will make you moderator.
Yeah, the $1 million question to me is just the amount of focus and prio that Besiktas is putting on this Joy, when I feel like there's just other options that could be just as effective or even more effective to the team as a whole when it comes to these team fights. But it just shows sometimes I feel like comfort picks outshine meta in traditional compositions, and it seems to be something that Ayaya favorites.
Yeah, but this puts Elevate in a very interesting position. Why the junglers are going to get banned out. This time Hayabusa and Joy are on the table, Suyo and Alpha. So this does leave open a sneaky Fredrin that was banned out in game number 1. Not sure if the side of Elevate is looking to go for that. They have enough damage to support it. And they are lacking CC quite a bit. They could look to pick up the Fredrin. I'm not sure if that's what they want to do. However, BJK is in a pretty decent position. They pick up this Kufra, which
I don't know.
actually think the Kufra matchup
It more depends now on early game who will be jungler.
65-35. Kufra wins on this because the bouncing ball can stop the dash coming out from Matilda, can leave the Matilda in place. And even the trades in the beginning, Kufa has a little bit of sustain to deal with the Matilda poke, so the Kufa is going to have a decent time. However, this Gata, we saw it in game number 1. The impact didn't feel like it was there. I do want to see how the side of BJK Lions, their skill stacking, right? Tyrant's Revenge into the AOG. Are they going to be able to get a combination that they're looking for? Or is it going to fall short due to the amount of utility and mobility that the Matilda and the Valentine is going to offer?
Ooh, and you asked the question about the Fredrin, but instead they're going to raise a Julian in its place. Now, the Julian, I would say it's a little versatile, a little bit more versatile than the Fredrin, because you can fight from afar, you can fight from up close, and you're just a little, no, I wouldn't say, probably mobility may be a little bit the same. So it's interesting to see the Julian here. I feel like it could still work. I feel like I personally was a little bit more of a fan of the Fredrin, but you do have the enhanced chain, so you do have a knock-up with the Julian as well, which could be a threat that Besiktas Esports needs to watch out for. Speaking of watching out for things, UA.
Yeah, BJK is like winning the draft here.
Besiktas Esports, it's 2-1. Elevate able to find the turnaround, their first victory so far in this challenge season. How you feeling about the draft? Do you think they can have a possibility at taking us to a game number 5?
Bro, I feel so dizzy. How to fix this sleep mode? I'm living like a fucking vampire.
That's just clear. I like to root for the underdogs because I like
buy melatonin.
Match. And a spicy match we most definitely are heading into with our game number 4.
Drink it 7 days in a row. One pill a day when you go to sleep. And go to sleep at a normal time.
And even out the playing field.
That's right, as we are in Group B, the elimination match.
You can like not sleep all day and go sleep later
of the challenge season. And Besiktas has found a lifeline in game
and it's better to
can
fix sleep
ride
schedule
that wave.
because at first you will think everything is fine, like you feel good even at night, but then guys, then
you know, I think
your dick will not work,
with the draft, right?
your brain will not
they
work,
got the winning Kufa, they got the
nothing will work.
So they're gonna be quite happy, and even they have that 100% winning Hayabusa. However, is that going to be enough to deal with the Matilda that Elevate is so extremely confident with it? And I think it comes down to how the junglers are going to be performing. This Julian is something we don't see quite often. With the new Hunter X Hunter skin, he's definitely looking
Hayabusa got a kill already.
Ooh, Fafnir in trouble.
Oh shit.
Wait a second! He takes down Ty, but the knockup, the rush in, Ayaya finding Fafnir as a response back. That is going to be both junglers falling off the board in the first minute of this game.
Yeah, bloodthirsty coming out from both of these teams here. You want to call it a mistake, you want to call it an outplay, whatever you want to call it. It's a trade coming out from both of these teams here. Boro slowing the recall back coming out from this Kufa means that Elevate should have the priority over this
Alexander.
And when you compare the utilities
Got
of both
third off.
junglers, of course the fighter with the iframe like Julian is going to have a much better time in controlling these early game objectives.
Yeah, with that turtle on Elevate's side, they will find the first objective of this game. Now, Ty running on this Hayabusa, I mean, he's highly mobile. He did a lot better in game number 3 on the engagements for the neutral objectives. Game number 1 and 2 was a little bit of a struggle, but I feel like game number 3, he was just a little bit better on finding those retries for the team. So if he can keep that rhythm going, I feel like BJK can have a little bit of a better chance when it comes to these neutral objective plays.
Yeah, but what I'm scared of is, you know, Besiktas going on an assassin in the jungle is not really meant to go for objectives. They're meant to go for kills. And is Ty going to be able to find, you know, responses on the opposite side of the map? Can he find kills? That's going to be what determines like success here.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to be keeping
Enzo died.
on. Zayaya will find Enzo 2-1 on the scoreboard for Besiktas Esports, and that is going to be 2 kills for Yaya on his Comfort Joy.
Yep. Yeah, and you know, we talked about it. Is this going to be the game that elevates puts the stop into Beşiktaş, or is Beşiktaş going to even it out? And you can already see the advantage is coming out early. We talk about this Joy in the mid lane coming in too early, but he seems to be super happy with being able to pick him up over and over. It's to the point where he doesn't even mind a blind pick. I said, yes, Valentina has the 2 dashes to be able to defend against the Joy, but it seems like Aya doesn't care about that matchup. He can find the dive early on, and as long as he gets to the marksman in the late game, he's quite happy, no problem here.
Both sides trying to test the waters and wait for somebody to make a mistake, but we're not seeing
I will
that
fall asleep right
this
now,
early in the
guys.
game. We're seeing a little bit more of a tighter knitted fight between both of these teams and how close they're playing. And speaking of playing, now the engagement on the way for the second turtle of this game.
What the
Able to
fuck?
get that steal with the Gatot last second for Beşiktaş Esports, and now the turtles are even. But speaking of even, Lido making the difference, finding Esco, which means they will find the kill to respond back though. Tiso is gonna find exception, so 2 kills on the side of Elevate and a turtle as well.
Beşiktaş, I believe, the AOG actually was able to pick up the turtle, so Beşiktaş gets
You can
that
do
objective
watch me
themselves.
sleeping
So
live
1 for
stream?
1 for turtle.
Bro.
However, you could already
You
see
just
the Matilda,
Perverts.
the impact on the shields, the utilities, the movement speed, right? The circling eagle, everything. You know, he was able to just defend against some of the damage that Beşiktaş was looking to deal with. And this Matilda is going to be quite good against the Hayabusa as well. The shield is going to provide so much utilities. You can see the sustain is already there. So how is Beşiktaş going to be able to deny the utilities coming out from Matilda? Where Elevate, Boro, I would say
It's
one of
only
his
Europe
best
region.
hero is Matilda. So it's an uphill battle. However, there's still some
It's
momentum
10
coming
PM
out
for
from
me.
Beşiktaş. They're not scared to look for some of these fights, and the gold lead is just so close.
Sky's Piercer picked up from Tiso as well, so now it's going to have the lethality. So if Beşiktaş Esports gets low enough, it will have that quick execute.
Europe is everything
stack.
but
So they are
Russia,
gonna
bro.
have to keep an eye on the damage.
At least for
and how low they
Snapdragon.
are when it comes to these engagements. Elevate fighting as a unit close together, but now the Time's Revenge for the setup does not go in for the rage. Both sides dishing some damage, but neither will find a member falling.
For Pops, the Purify coming Enzo here. That's a good find. However, not the target that they're looking for, right? They really want to get Tiso or even Lido, but mainly Tiso here.
And Boro, watch Shadow coming out with the Ouija Shadow kill stacks alongside Tiso and Enzo to share the damage, and we'll recall back to safety. Turtle spawned in. So far, it's 1-1. We got to see Avatar the Guardian play from Eski to get the steal against Elevate to even up these objectives. But now, with the junglers in position, we may see a possible 50-50. You have the quad shadow from Ty, though. He is in the mid lane. He is going to go back in for it. A good contest, though, from Elevate. Chapo taking some hits, dealing some damage. Almost finds Tiso.
Oh,
Forced to go
Chapo
back to
does.
safety, but Chapo may have overextended, and Fafner will find blood. Eski finding Boro. That's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Fafner need to get out of there. Use the enhanced sword to go back to safety. Lido, though, needs to be careful as well. The taunt, too much to handle, and a Yaya with electrifying beats will shut him down. Kills working in Beşiktaş Esports' favor.
Yeah, some micro mechanic coming out from Beşiktaş. Not only do they get 2 kills in trade for 1, they're actually able to grab up the top tower too. So, you know,
Why will
Beşiktaş
play
actually
ranked
came
after
up
this
on
game
this,
ends?
you know, this skirmish here, and they're looking to put even more pressure. This is interesting.
I mean
You
this
normally-
serious.
You normally don't see a mage going up to the XP or the opposite lane to solo a lane and get some gold. Yeah, he doesn't mind because he is a Joy. He has the ability to dash and the mobility to get away. And now Elevate sets up for the objective.
Ooh, Fafner able to get the turtle for Elevate, and now maybe able to get a kill as well as Eski caught in the middle of the full team and quickly bursted down by Tiso.
Yeah, 5-man siege, a powerhouse move coming out from Elevate. This is something that we see quite, right? And that they love to group up as this Death Ball 5 and move around the whole entire map, go for the objectives. And it's just due to the fact that they have the fighter in the jungle. They're looking to 50-50, get every single one of these fights versus Besiktas. They have an assassin in the jungle. Assassins typically look for kills, typically look for a 2 versus 1 situation, or even a 1 versus 1 pick off onto the back line. So both teams looking to play into their strengths. Elevate here is just a little bit up though. The Granger picks off onto the bot side, gets one uncontested.
Nice, okay.
And Exception will fall alongside him like dominoes. A little bit of overextension for Chapo. He tried to get the push on the bot side, but didn't realize Enzo was wrapping around to sandwich him in. Yaya maybe next tries to go in for the play into the back line with the electrifying beef, but quickly taking a lot of damage and forced back to the turret.
Yeah, no bueno coming out from the side of BJK here, doing a little bit more that they should, right? Number one, Chapo should not really be getting caught off guard on far side, especially with not much CC coming out from the side of Elf Flicker. You should be able to get away with no problem here, but Shadow Cone coming out from the mid side.
Yeah, a lot of damage, but stacking up together, it's not really gonna phase Elevate, and Ty just having a hard time finding this pickoffs, yet to get a kill this entire game, and we're almost at the 10-minute mark. Not really typical from what you see on an early game assassin like the Hayabusa. On the plus side though for Elevate, they've got Tiso now up 3 kills in the gold lane, and he's just off to a really good start. Chapo having a hard time, 2 deaths in.
Yeah, and you know, Chapo is going to be the late game reason if Besiktas is going to win or not, right? Arithal, hard to catch, high damage, does well against, you know, a strafing Granger, and has the mobility to be able to, you know, just run around. At the same time though, Elevate has the sustain and the mobility of the Matilda. They have also 2 Purifies to bait out an Inception compared to last game. So it feels like Elevate just has a lot more utility to be able to deal with the damage coming out from Besiktas.
A little bit of a premature Ouija Shadow kill. Fafnir will be able to take the Lord for Elevate, and now disengaging with the Guiding Winds. Yeah, this is a similar to game number 1 and 2, where Ty is just not able to find the positioning needed to get these objectives. But speaking of objectives, may be able to find a trade, a kill, an Avatar the Guardian for the knockup, but Eski taking a lot of hits. Enzo will be the one to deal the final touches.
Eski dying like knob.
Yeah, a lot of utility coming out from Elevate. You can already tell there's not much damage that's able to kind of last hit some of the members from Elevate. And the shield is just going to get more and more messy, right? Matilda is just going to get more and more cooldowns. He's going to be up to about 30 to 40%, especially with the book Enchanted Talisman to be able to complete here. So he's going to have that second skill pretty much on cooldown, added with the utilities coming out from that Julian. It's going to be a lot of trouble for the side of BJK.
Big Tyrant's Revenge and a Tyrant's Rage onto the wall, but a little premature. Nobody there to really deal the damage from that amazing assist from Exception. Tiso able to find Eski and Exception side by side. 2 kills for
Where
Tiso.
is cup of coffee?
Now a 5-0
I didn't prepare it.
KDA.
Yeah, Elevate is
I don't have cup of coffee today.
Tanky units from the side of BJK here. A little bit of a response coming out from Ayaya. But again, the Matilda. Boro is just in a great position anywhere they go. They go for the AOG zone. A little bit of an overkill, but objective secured for the side of Elevate.
Probably Elevate is winning
now in
this.
control of this game, which was once tug of war. It's just one side pulling and the other side just giving them everything they want. Besiktas Esports need to be careful, right? They have a moment
Just again
to be
winning
able to tie
rotation.
up this series, and they were off to a great start. It's not too far out of the ballpark, but a couple more stakes can be costly.
Yeah, side of BJK looking for some response. Number 1, they need to use the Hayabusa as what he's supposed to be, which is a backline pickoff, which is, you know, picking off some of the squishy units. Yes, it's going to be hard to deal with the Matilda's shield, but it's not impossible. Matilda is still a very squishy unit. If they could burst the Matilda out, that would be an ideal situation, right? That's number one. Can they get onto the Granger? That is number two. But I think most importantly, number three, they have to set this Rithel up for success. It could be the Kufra. It could be the Katot. They just need to make sure that this Rithel is, you know, well peeled, and they're doing a great job here, right? Putting both the tanky units out in the front to make sure Chapo
Legrand, by the way.
going to be rotating around.
Hi Legrand, will you be
However,
tomorrow on my
once
stream?
again, they have a lot
Because
that's
I don't know if
available,
I
and
have like
Ty
energy to play
chunked
today.
at the mid side.
Much.
taking a lot of hits.
I
You
don't
gotta be
want to
careful.
play
He's having a
Valier
hard
when
time
I'm in
finding
as
the
such
backline. I mean, Tiso is deathless
mood.
so far in this entire game.
I don't know.
and he's going to be the one dealing a lot of the damage that makes the
It's gonna
difference in
just
these
be an
skirmishes.
NPC game.
Without
I don't
Tiso
want
falling
NPC game.
and rotating around with the team, Elevate easily able to take another objective on their side, and now Tiso's going to be even more of a threat. He just picked up the win of nature.
Yeah, this is game one, game two all over again for Tisa here. Already at the MVP caliber performance in this series, looking to get another one underneath his belt. And it's well deserved, right, Weezy? He's played a perfect game so far. 5-0-3, highest kill for his team. 8 out of 10 kills. This man smells so much trouble, and he's on such a mobile hero like Granger. Then that's not even including the guiding winds coming out from Matilda. He's going to be quite happy, especially with the amount of dashes, the amount of mobility coming out. He's just a happy camper. BJK have to be able to find Tiso in order to get this win. The Lord coming down 14 minutes. This is going to be trouble.
Elevate knocking on the door at Besiktas Esports base, and it has been kicked wide open. The Lord attack now going to the base crystal, and the full 5-man
Ooh,
team.
higher
Elevate
bad
behind
ultimate,
it.
really
Lord quickly
bad
bursts it
ultimate.
down. Ouija shadow kill, and the quad shadow
Useless.
in, but not going to be able to find the kill Ty was looking for. Forced to back out, and Elevate. Do they pull their punches here? I mean, they still have minions. They're going to go in for the inhibitor play on the bot side, but is this the right decision? The respawn timers are climbing, but it's not going to stop them from the siege.
Ooh, and
Opportunity for Revenge, Tyrant's Rage, the whip from
Ramens,
Exception, and
everything.
now the punish from Lido. Tiso will
Nice
be the one to
GGs,
take him
I
out,
guess.
and Fafner will take down Chapo to follow. 2 members down from Besiktas Esports. Besiktas need to be careful, or they may be knocked out of this challenge season. Elevate rising to the occasion, winner crown play, trying to get away from the Ouija Shadow kill.
Nah, GG's,
Not going to
GG's.
be able to find it. Tie back to the base, but rushes back in with the quad shadow on the base. Crystal will be bursted down. Elevate will push on forward, taking down BJK, knocking him out of the challenge season, and moves on in Group B.
GG's.
Yeah, nice try from the side of BJK. Ending the series with a 3-1 for the side of Elevate. And, you know, Elevate played a great series overall. It really does feel like they fall into their strengths. by
Elevate are just
picking-
playing better.
By drafting these heroes, these matchup that they've had so much success with, right? Tiso played a perfect game once again. 3 perfect games here, all leading to victories. You could tell how much impact this guy has for the side of Elevate to lead their team into success. And also Enzo and Boro, 2 great supporting casters, especially at that mid and roam position, leading in rotations, leading in terms of zoning coverage. Elevate.
Miran, let's go
great
play
series,
Rising.
and it's, you know, just so nice that they are able to end this series here.
You know, there's 2 rules that should almost be universal in the land of Dawn. And those rules are ban Mathilda and drink water. All right? Ban the Mathilda at all costs, because when you don't, you see what happens. And Boro really able to keep the team alive to a lot of those engagements, even though he didn't get the MVP. I feel like it's something you can't overlook, and a great series, one of the most entertaining ones we have seen so far in the challenge season, and we're still getting started, right? We're still in Group B, but Elevate with the 3-1 performance will knock down Besiktas.
Yeah, and you know, it's a great draft coming out from Elevate. They're able to use this Matilda. However, I still feel like Matilda has some weakness. It's not like you pick Matilda and it's a win, right? It's never like that. We've seen Matilda lose from time to time. We've seen Matilda lose early game. We've seen Matilda do well in the late game. It just depends on how these teams are trying to look for that counter matchup. There's so many great heroes that Matilda does not do good with. For example, Khalid, that is a bad matchup. You could also go something like the Matilda versus an Angela or even an Estes, which we haven't seen quite often here. There's great counters against Matilda. However, it doesn't seem like the side of BJK was able to find that out today. They had a great series. They had moments of greatness.
Okay.
Even in game number 4, there was opportunity
Yeah,
for them
Haya
to set
was doing
themselves
nothing.
up for some
But
wins.
that's not like fully his fault.
Unfortunately, with some whiffs
He
and
was doing
they just
useless
fell a
ultimates,
little
but
bit
his
short
team
of
was
it.
also useless.
Yeah,
So.
fell a little bit short, but we did see some moments where it looked like they were the one in control of the game, and I felt like if this was a best of 7, we could have seen them possibly turn it around, but they ran out of time. And speaking of time, a man who had all the
GG's
time
for
on his
Elevate.
side didn't die at all the entire game again. Tayso in the gold lane.
Yep. And this is the same guy that did get the Savage against Incendio. So Tayso is definitely somebody we have to watch out for in this region. He's performed so efficiently in every single one of these matches. He played a perfect game, 0 deaths, unbelievable, right? And he's literally, you know,
Did you turn into a girl? Did you become gay, Dazai?
in all these matches.
What the
It's definitely
fuck?
somebody elevates
ban
can
a
lean
hero.
on, just like we can on this.
Oh,
And
Lala,
always
hello.
lean on the casters and always lean on Wheezy for the callbacks. Matilda Airline just sent Elevate
The
into
enemy is
safety and
banning.
sent, unfortunately, BJK.
GG's. GG's, guys. Now I go play Rising. Finally, I play Rising.
Your team is banning.
No, this tournament I was watching right now is Snapdragon. It's not a world tournament, but I mean, right now it's just Europe and Turkey. But at the end, it will be from
The
all
enemy
countries.
is banning.
Like few teams from Asia, few teams from Latin America, few teams from, no, one team from China, 3 teams from Europe and Turkey. So it's just like qualifiers, you know.
Your team is banning.
I don't know how I will perform right now because I really want to sleep. I can't even talk. I will just move my mouse. Read with lips, guys.
The enemy is picking. Please pick a hero.
I don't think they're gonna be teams from Iraq, no. Hayabusa EUR Open.
The enemy is picking.
No, no teams from Russia. Europe, Turkey, and MENA has qualifiers. Latin America has qualifiers. China has
Your team
qualifiers.
is picking.
One team is invited.
Your
And
team is banning.
Asia has qualifiers.
The enemy is banning.
Dang, guys, my eyes are closing.
Your team is banning. The enemy is banning. Your team is picking.
Окей, Ахмед Бабанов. Да извините нахуй, Ахмед. Заебав. Що за долбоёб знов нахуй?
The enemy is picking.
Oh, it's Rising. I don't need to play Elise in Rising. Hisham. It's not ranked. Oh my Alex. Oh. I don't know. Why is he pick
Your
Alice?
team is picking.
Just there is stereotype about Ukrainians that they are low. Racism. On the Europe server. So Valiris for next time, yeah. Look, I really want to show good game with a lot of viewers with my Valir when I will not be sleepy as fuck, so yeah. I'll do this next time. Just when you come to my stream, say I'm ready and I will do that. It's not racist, a lot of Ukraine players have pink problems. Bruh. Romanians have pink problems. I don't know. It's fucking stereotype now. They play, most players play from their Samsung
5
fridges.
seconds till the enemy reaches the battlefield. Smash them. Deployed.
I will destroy them.
Tabrak aja lah.
Blood.
Yeah, they have turretry by the way.
Ini bencana.
Enemy.
Wow.
Slain the turtle.
Ooh.
Ally has been slain. Well played.
Boom dedi. Helal. Oh, oldu.
Ult is not ready.
Guys, help me please. No way. What is even Mia doing here?
Your team destroyed a turret. Initiate retreat.
Mia ganking enemy jungle.
Ult is not ready. Ally has been slain. The enemy has slain the turtle. Ult is not Your team destroyed a turret. Has been slain. Ult is not ready.
Oh damn, we are so dead as well.
Ult is not ready.
No, Lucas' damage is just 3k damage. Okay.
Your team destroyed a turret. An ally has been slain. Request backup.
Understood.
Request backup. Killing spree. Initiate retreat. Our turret has turret is under attack. Your team destroyed a turret. An enemy has been slain. Is not turret is under attack.
Wind of Nation.
Slain an enemy. Ult is not ready. Mega kill. Ult is not ready. An enemy has been slain. Ult is not ready. Double kill.
Nice one.
Your team destroyed a turret. Your team destroyed a turret.
Oh, fuck off. Oh, Angela. Hello, man.
Double kill.
Japanese guy. Hello.
An enemy has been slain. Ult is not ready. Killing spree.
Danger, hello, and nobody, hello. Okay, Miran push some.
Team destroyed a turret. Enemy has been slain. Killing spree. Shut down. Your team destroyed a turret. Ult is not ready. Kill.
I'm literally sleeping right now, guys.
Not ready. Request backup. Ult is not ready. Ult is not ready. Monster kill. Ult is not ready. Team destroyed a turret. Double kill.
Dazai, would you stream with me if I became the world Kagura? No. Oh. If you're gonna be global 1 Kagura, yeah. Sure, bro. Sure. Balearic MVP, sure. Hello, Redline. Damn, again Ukrainians. Holy shit.
The enemy is banning.
I just want to win and go sleep. What the fucking shit?
Please ban a hero.
You play very beautiful, brother. I play on autopilot, bro. Right now.
The enemy is banning.
Yeah, if you're gonna be
banning.
If you're gonna be Global 1 Kagura, I will play with you. Oh shit.
The enemy is banning. Your team is banning.
I use OBS to stream. It's funeral, Boom
The enemy
Diddy.
is picking.
Boom Diddy funeral.
Please pick a hero.
Mia every fucking game. Nice Hanabi,
The
bro.
enemy is picking.
48% in it. No, it's not my brother. It's my friend. Yeah, OBS. I just told you OBS. Holy fuck.
Your team is picking. Please ban a hero.
Yeah, why not Hanabi? Maybe pick your mom, you Ukrainian Peter. Joke, I'm not toxic. What to ban?
The enemy is banning. Your team is banning.
I still can go Joy.
The enemy is banning.
Funny joke saying you're not toxic. I just should say that because people will think I'm toxic. When I'm not toxic. It's a joke.
Please pick a hero. The enemy is picking.
Why Karina is black?
Your team is picking.
So when you call me a disgusting dog for going 09, you don't mean it? No, I don't mean it. I know you are autistic, it's fine. But I don't want to call you disgusting dog. Maybe at least it's our server.
Welcome to Mobile Legends.
Let's go.
5 seconds till the enemy reaches the battlefield.
Tabrak
Smash
aja
them.
lah.
All troops deployed.
Damn it.
Ini bencana.
Oh wait, Miron will come after 10 business days.
Ini bencana.
Why you still have sun?
Ini bencana.
Oh, no, it's Freya. I forgot it's Freya calling. Yeah, jump on me, bitch.
Has been slain.
Ini bencana.
With Mia with Inspire.
Ally has been slain.
Ini bencana.
Killing spree. Has been triple kill. Well played.
What the heck are you doing?
Unstoppable. We're ahead in gold. Your team destroyed the turret. An ally has slain the turtle. Team destroyed the monster kill.
Go push.
Attack. Team destroyed a turret. Team destroyed the turret. Godlike. Double kill. Legendary.
Don't touch my buff, bitches.
Request backup. Our turret has been destroyed. An ally has slain the turtle. Legendary. Launch attack. An enemy has been slain. You destroyed a turret.
Yeah.
Destroyed the turret.
Every time the problem is me.
An enemy has been slain. Legendary. Team destroyed a turret. Ult is ready. Killing spree.
Hanabi with Skypiercer.
Double kill.
The fuck are you doing, Mero?
Victory!
Huh? Victory. Damn, bro. 5500 power on Kagura with 500 matches? Do you have like 50% win rate or what? GG's. Is there another match today? No. GK Esports didn't come because they didn't have their players ready. So they lost 3-0 automatically. And Elevate won BGK. Tomorrow will be next matches. Tomorrow means Saturday, Sunday. Last matches. I am from Piszczanka, Vinnytsia region. Cool.
The enemy is banning. Your team is banning.
Invisible,
The
hello.
enemy is banning.
Why they ban Harley? Why you ban Harley, motherfucker, from Russia?
Your team is banning.
Dixon thought uses bullshit.
The enemy is banning.
KitKat, hello, thanks.
Your team is banning.
Belani Miarion.
The enemy is picking. Your team is picking.
Easy Fanny guy. Sexy Fanny Christmas skin. Cutie.
The enemy is picking. Your team is picking.
Why Ukraine flag people are feeder in my team? What is your country? Where are you from? Nightmare.
Your team is banning.
I'm telling your girlfriend you kissed Fanny skin. I have a romance with Fanny like
The enemy is banning.
Sherwin, hello. I'm speaking English and Ukrainian. I understand Ukrainian.
Your team is banning.
Hentai.
The enemy is banning.
At least peak rate in Europe server increased just because of Dazai. Whatever you pick is copied. I don't know. I don't see much Elise. Maybe because they ban my Elise every game.
Your team is picking.
Can you use Lightborn skin? No, I can't. Look this Fanny. Mwah. Look this Fanny. Oh my god.
Your team is picking.
What's one hero you want to see completely removed from the game? Zuxin. Fucking tired of her. I viewed description. Is this your video live stream? What do you mean, my video live stream? In description, right now I'm watch partying Snapdragon tournament. In description there is links to Snapdragon tournament. Oh my god. Even my emblems for release. Holy shit. No, one emblem is off. Who the fuck is this guy and why he picks Ellie's jungle? Can you load with your fucking Nokia? The fuck? Holy shit. I can go toilet. What the fuck? Why is your game background that? That's MLBB Rising. It's default background for MLBB Rising.
Welcome to Mobile Legends.
Let's fucking
5
go.
seconds till the enemy reaches the battlefield. Smash them. All troops deployed.
Ini bencana.
Balearic? No, flame shot. No. I swear. Get the fuck out of my jungle, woman.
Ini bencana.
Yeah, of course I like this Balmont emote.
Ini bencana.
Fucking damn, man. My energy ended. Oops.
Initiate retreat.
Bro. Got to catch you alive.
Ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain. Double kill.
I don't really care about these turtles, like I'm funny player.
Enemy has slain the turret. Ready. Battleground has been slain an enemy.
Oh hell, bro.
Ini bencana. Ini bencana.
Ult is ready. Missing. Ult is not ready. Killing
Mentally, she's Elise. She's hitting me.
僕のスキルが必要だな。
Ult is not ready. Mega kill.
Ah, come on.
Launch attack. Launch attack. Initiate retreat. Okay.
That's funny. Yeah, I still do Sky Piercer for her. Why not?
Ini bencana.
Very, very useful, Angela.
Gather up the turtle. Ult is not ready. An ally has slain the turtle. Enemy missing. Ult is not ready. Mega kill. Your team destroyed a turret. Your team destroyed a turret.
Die from something.
Dairy.
Man, they're so bad. It's crazy. Are they even people?
Ult is ready. Your team destroyed a turret. Unstoppable.
I'm 20 years old. Before my birthday, May 23. Happy birthday, I don't know. Oh, he took Kagura. No one knows how that Kagura died.
Shut down. An ally has been slain. Where is it going? Dairy. Ult is not ready. Ult is not ready.
Funny, funny.
なるほど、わかった。
Ult
What the hell? Where are you? Where is he in? Holy shit.
Ult is not ready.
Do you want to take Lord maybe? Okay, okay. 12 minutes, let's go.
Our turret has been destroyed. Mega kill! Double kill!
What the fuck is Miron doing? Oh shit! My bad. My bad, my bad. Nope. Nope. Holy.
Your team destroyed killing spree. Ally has been slain. Legendary.
Yeah, Balearic, you're next, Balearic. That I don't want to die. We are not even taking Lord right now, we're just trying to end this bullshit.
Attack the Lord. Request backup. Unstoppable.
Fuck you, Miron. I took Lord without you. Farming kills in Rising. Well played, Miron. Very smart, very good though.
Ini bencana.
Victory!
GG's. Caroline, hello. Now I have blue. Bullshit. Friend supporter. No, you come, bitch. Don't decline. I wanna see what you have. Friend supporter, come. I am better fan than Kairi. I'm just the best jungler in the world, I don't know. Oh, nice. Nice. Okay. Nice. Wait, how to see oh, this. No. This. I'll get this next week. Wow. No, I go sleep, guys. I go fucking sleep. Yeah, Miran has bigger. Okay, guys, thanks for being on my stream. See you tomorrow. I will start maybe a ranked stream earlier and then again tournament stream. No, I don't go right. No. I go sleep. No. Yeah, good night, guys. Good luck in the games. And yeah, Kia, hello.